gamers, and welcome to episode 331 of the Super Ultra Podcast Arcade for June 5th, 2021. I'm one of your co-hosts, Daniel Nicholson, and with me is my co-host, Dominic Stallworth. What's going on this week, Dominic?
It's going great, Daniel. It's going pretty good. But we are in like peak cicada zone here.
Yeah.
Like it is, they are out and about now, man. They are out. This is full blown invasion that's happening. Like they are loud. They are loud and they are proud.
Yes, they are. Celebrating Pride Month the correct way, Dominic.
Yes, yeah. They came out, man. They are just like flying everywhere now, man. Like they are just out there. They're everywhere. I see them in the grass. I see when I go out for the front door, man. I just see a bunch of dead ones out there, man. I was like, Jesus Christ, man. I said, I hope you had a good fuck in you. Hope it was a good fuck before you were gone, man. But yeah, and I also learned that they're not blind. I think a lot of people say they were blind. I just thought they were blind too, because I heard people tell me that, and then I learned that they're not blind. They have 5 eyes and they can see. They're just clumsy motherfuckers, apparently. So I was like, oh, so they can. So I can't say like, oh, they only land on me and hit me because they couldn't see. Oh no, they're assholes.
They were coming for you.
Yeah, they're assholes. They probably told us they were blind. Oh no, I'm just blind. That's why I bumped into you. But yeah, so we got probably like another 3 or 4 weeks, or maybe a month of this, possibly. Maybe by July we should be good.
Oh no, they're gonna ruin all your 4th of July plans, Dominic.
Well, luckily I don't have any, but so it don't matter to me. But like by July, they should be gone, and we just have a whole bunch of dead ones. We just got to sweep up, or cook, because that's to see people. Some people say, "Hey, we got chocolate covered cicadas," and I'm like, "Oh my god!"
I looked up cicadas, and I see this cicada myths debunked. You can eat them, and they don't bite. So maybe you can eat them, and maybe they do bite. Also, I just saw a time lapse of a cicada, and I am deeply uncomfortable now.
Like You see, chocolate of ants, because it's probably more chocolate than the ant. You know, the ant has really nothing really.
Well, that's why you put like multiple ants there. You just grind them up and sprinkle them in.
Yeah, but with cicadas, it's like I don't know, what do they taste
They're
like,
just
man.
So
I don't
thick.
I don't know if I want to. I don't think enough chocolate would do it for me, or even people who fry them or saute them, whatever the hell they do. People eating them. I'm like, oh, whatever. It's like, I'm just thinking, like, do you eat regular bugs then? Like, when the cicadas are around? Or it's just, like, you just say, hey, I figure I eat them while they come up. Now, so do you eat any other bugs? Like, or you just eat the cicadas? I don't know. I say, I'll get my protein other ways. So, what we got here? I guess I get right down to it. To the sports real quick. Basketball playoffs, my team is out, as I predicted. They did win 1 game, so happy for that.
That's good.
So we didn't get swept.
Yeah.
So that's the good thing. The other good thing is the Lakers are gone.
Oh no, your team's out, Dominic. Your team, the Lakers, is out. Did they also win 1 game?
No, they won 2 games, but they are out in the first round. LeBron James. This is his first ever being put out in the first round.
That's rough.
He's never lost a first round series. I didn't even know that. I know that was a thing.
I didn't either. I saw that. I was like, wow, that's pretty impressive. That's good. Actually.
Yeah. So I was like, oh yay. So I guess people can be like, hey, he's like Jordan, because Jordan lost the first round. So there you go. But yeah, so he lost. So Lakers lost the first round to the Phoenix Suns. I mean, they were riddled with. They had their 2 biggest stars were pretty injured. I mean, LeBron still played though, but I'm sure he was still hurt. And Anthony Davis tried to come back from a groin injury, but he didn't even last like 5 minutes on the court, or probably just a little over 5 minutes, maybe. Like he had to leave, and yeah, I mean they were injured and it didn't work out, but. Hey, I don't care. I just don't want to see the Lakers. So now I can watch the playoffs, because I wasn't going to watch the playoffs. If the Lakers were still in it, I wasn't going to watch it anymore. and now I can watch.
Now you can consume all of the NBA.
Yeah, exactly. I'm kind of upset too now because I could do other things. I could catch up on shows now, but now I'm watching NBA playoffs. The Orioles have stopped their 14-game losing streak.
Yay!
So that was good, and they won 3 in a row after that. So maybe it could go on a 14-game winning streak now to compensate for that losing streak. What else has happened? I mean, there's other things happen, but that's all I want to talk about. That's the things I really was interested in. So, you got anything wrestling news? You said AEW, the AEW, you said had a...
Yeah, they had their Double or Nothing pay-per-view last week, and it was all very good and enjoyable. Some standouts were the triple threat world championship match, Kenny Omega, Pac, and Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy's kind of a comedic character, like he's a cool guy, puts his hands in his pockets, but he can also like do flips and stuff with his hands in his pockets. So he's
oh really?
Yeah, he's really cool. Because it's very much like I'm slow, lethargic guy, but then I can pick it up when I need to. So yeah, that show was good overall. I guess the biggest thing happening in wrestling this week, a couple of things. Last night, AEW came on Friday again. They came on Friday last week. I think it's probably due to like the NBA playoffs or something like that. And Wednesday not having their time slot. So they've been coming on Fridays at 10 so that they're not competing with SmackDown. And last night, Andrade, who recently got released from the WWE, showed up. And that's exciting because he is one of the best wrestlers in the world. So that's very cool.
I like how you had to roll his R.
Yeah. Andrade.
God darn, man.
El Idolo. You gotta support the culture, Dominic. But yeah, so he's there. He actually already has a match with Kenny Omega in AAA because Kenny Omega is the AAA champion, mega champion, and that's a Mexican promotion. So they actually already have a match. So I wonder if they actually talk about that at all on AEW. Kenny Omega does sometimes have the title on Dynamite, but very rarely. It sounds like there's some weird situation there where they're not really supposed to talk about the belt, but sometimes they even have matches for the belt on like AEW Dark, which comes on YouTube. So I don't know if it's like a television deal thing or whatnot, but yeah. And then the other big news is WWE had some more releases this week. Some big names, some people that aren't necessarily surprising. It's surprising that they let them go, but it's not surprising that they're gone because they haven't really done much with them. Aleister Black, who was huge in NXT, he was the NXT champion for a while, and then he came up to the main roster, and they've kind of just squandered him. And they actually just started using him again about 2 weeks ago. He actually was getting into like a feud with Big E, who was coming out of being in the Intercontinental Championship scene, and now they just released him. But kind of the biggest surprise one is Braun Strowman. He's been like their go-to big guy, especially now with Big Show being on AEW. And it seemed like they've been happy with him as far as like, you know, media appearances and stuff like that. He's a guy that seems like he wasn't a wrestler before coming to WWE. So he was kind of like a lifelong WWE kind of guy. And this news kind of just came out of nowhere, and people are speculating that one, WWE has some big guys besides him now. There's Omos, who is tag team champion with AJ Styles still, I think. They won that at WrestleMania. Haven't really been watching Raw, though. Apparently it's not very good as of late. And Commander Aziz, who is kind of the manager to Apollo Crews, who is the guy that you and I were talking about doing the kind of Nigerian gimmick now. So now he's got like a 90s militia leader guy with him kind of thing. It's weird.
Oh man, that is weird.
Yeah, it's WWE. They're still as carny as ever. But yeah, it just seems weird. I've seen some speculation go around that, the only reason you would make cuts like this, as far as especially Braun Strowman, because he's a big money contract guy, that they might be trying to sell WWE, so they're trying to lower their overhead, basically, because they're still having record profits. Like, even last year, not having to tour and just being able to set up in one place, and then, of course, releasing a whole bunch of people at the beginning of the pandemic also, like, they were making record profits last year, and it sounds like they're doing pretty well this year so far too. So it's not that they have to get rid of these people for budget cuts, but it sounds like that's still the excuse that they're giving to these talents. And it's kind of weird because, like, a guy like Aleister Black, if he shows up in AEW, that's a real big get for them. Now, Braun Strowman, I saw a lot of people speculating like he could he could get a great spot in, like, New Japan, because New Japan loves a big foreigner. Like, they love that gimmick. And of course there's Impact always. Impact will kind of always take the table scraps of WWE. So I could see him showing up there too. But between them, also Lana, who is formerly Rusev's manager, now Miro in AEW. He was already over there. So I wouldn't be surprised to see her necessarily. Also, she's just, like, always posting model stuff on Instagram, so she could just be an influencer. And Ruby Riott, who came into NXT as kind of a big thing, but they never really did anything with her there. Then they called her up to the main roster and never really did anything with her there either. But she's a great wrestler and could be amazing for AEW's women's division. They're still kind of, like, it's gotten a lot better, and they have some really good female wrestlers, but kind of the time that they give them and the storytelling is not great. And right now, in this past pay-per-view, Britt Baker, who is she's kind of a tweener. She's a heel that's going to get cheered a little bit once you get her more in front of crowds, because she's so good at being a heel. She just won the title off of Hikaru Shida, who has been champion for basically the entire pandemic. She's a great wrestler, but she was a babyface. And they don't really have anyone established for Britt to go up against if they move away from Hikaru Shida and doing, like, a rematch kind of thing. Now, a lot of these people, it sounds like, have 90-day no-compete clauses, so it'll be a couple of months before we see them show up on anything. It sounds like that wasn't necessarily the case with Andrade, and that's why we're seeing him so soon. But yeah, we'll see. It's kind of crazy. There was a while there where when AEW was starting up, WWE was basically just hoarding talent and signing anybody that they could, even if they had no plans to use them, just to keep them away from AEW. And now it just seems like they're like, whatever, go wrestle for AEW. It's not gonna affect our bottom line that much, I guess. I don't, maybe that's what it is. They've just realized that it's not taking that much money away from them. People who watch AEW are also still watching WWE, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's been kind of a wild week with wrestling.
All right. So I guess we get to what we've been watching. So I'll start it off.
All right.
I watched Pennyworth. So I finished the first season finally, because the second season's been going on. It might be even over. I'm not even sure. But I had like about 4 episodes to watch. And yeah, the overall series is pretty good.
Okay.
Like, it's not really comic booky. It's really more suspenseful, like suspenseful action, realistic action, somewhat. I think there was something that seemed little mystical with this cult happening. I'm not sure if anything that was real or that could just be the drugs. So I'm not sure. But other than that, yeah, it's just a lot of it's a lot of killing and stuff in there here, but it's more like not really a secret agent. It's not a secret agent kind of thing. It's more like doing a hired gun, and getting things done. It's really dealing with politics also.
So this is
political.
based on Alfred Pennyworth of Batman fame?
Yes. Yeah.
And it takes
Alfred
place,
Pennyworth.
I assume, before he becomes a butler?
Oh, definitely. Okay. Like, there is a young, Martha, I'm about to say Martha Kent, but Martha, whatever her name is,
Martha
her last
Batman.
name is before and Thomas Wayne, they're in there. Okay. They're in this too. And like Thomas Wayne, he's what he's always is, like a big rich man and something like that, whatever business. But he's also worked with the CIA, and they're helping out this political group over in England to get in power because of this other political group they're pretty nasty. So, and Martha I think she works with that group. So that's how they meet each other. And Pennyworth, Alfred, just came back from the war, but he's got hired to do some things behind the scenes. He got him and his buddies do some illegal stuff, like they might be sent to either kill somebody or protect people or protection and things of that nature. And he got caught up. It's a big thing. And I forgot a lot of stuff 'cause I haven't seen it in so long, but I just said, I'm just going to start where I left off because I don't think I'm going to be going to watch it all from the beginning. But it was fun to watch. Like it's a good show. It's a cool show to watch. And also I will say this, spoiler alert, he does fuck the queen.
Really?
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes, he does. Yeah. So I was thinking, like, I don't know if this is Queen Elizabeth though. Oh, because I don't know when she gets married.
Right.
I don't know when Queen Elizabeth gets married. I know she's not married in this yet. So, yeah, I was like, oh damn. It was like it's like that really did happen. But yeah, it's the show it's pretty good. I'm surprised how good it is, and it's like it really doesn't, because I don't know what you could add from the comics because it's so lot before the times, of really anybody. So I don't know. Maybe there is something in there from the comics. I just don't know that. I just don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But
you haven't been keeping up with those Alfred comics.
Yeah, exactly. But yo, it's cool to see a young Alfred doing this thing. Like he's a badass. He's a badass. Neat. And there's some cool characters in this too. And there's actors that I guess if you are into the English actors, you'll probably know them.
Okay.
Because I looked up one woman in there. She plays one of the antagonist women in the show. She's a singer apparently.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, I said, well, I mean, it's not the kind of music I listen to, but I was like, oh, darn, there's like, she's really known for music, but I guess she's pretty good at acting.
Is it? She was also in Street Fighter.
I don't. The Street Fighter, I don't think it's her.
Okay.
No, this girl don't look like no fighter. Yeah, she don't look like she's a fighter. No, but yeah, because I was just thinking like, hey, this woman. Like, I was like, well, who is this woman? Because I like her. And I said, oh, darn, I didn't know she was a singer also. But yeah, that's all I really watched this week. I haven't watched anything else. I haven't started the Bad Batch yet. Maybe this week. I mean, I'll see how I feel. Because I've just been watching, a lot of times I just watch old shows. So it's not really worth talking about. It's like just old television shows every now and then. But, so what you been watching?
So I watched Cruella this week. I don't know what it is, prequel live action thing.
Yeah.
For 101 Dalmatians. 101 Dalmatians.
Yeah, you're right, Dan.
Because it was 102 Dalmatians. That was the sequel.
Yeah, that was the sequel.
Yeah. So I actually very much enjoyed this movie. I was a little bit surprised at how much I did. Like, I kind of expected it to be like a Maleficent or something like that, where I didn't really get into it. I still haven't gotten around to seeing Lion King live action. I did like the Jungle Book live action one. That was pretty good.
Aladdin, you said you thought it was okay?
Yeah, Aladdin was okay. This was better. This was definitely better than Aladdin.
All right.
Yeah, and I just think they do a good job of kind of subverting expectations. Like I very much expected it to go away knowing how 101 Dalmatians is, and it kind of doesn't go exactly that way. And I think that's actually neat, because I was still, even by the end of it, like, okay, so when does this happen? Because it very much feels like, knowing that it's a thing related to that, I very much just expected it to lead into that. Whereas I think they're just like, okay, we took this character and we're going to kind of do something different with it. So I think Emma Stone was good as Cruella. And I forget her name. She's always in stuff. She plays like the boss character, because she's working. Emma Thompson. She plays the Baroness, and she's kind of the boss character. It's almost like Devil Wears Prada, although I don't know that I've ever actually sat down and watched that entire movie. But the idea
I saw the movie,
that it's like it's a younger woman working for this bad bitch of a boss, basically, like, and there's like some level of respect to it, because it's like, oh, she raised the ranks and is at the top of the seamstress game or whatever. She's a fashion designer, and Cruella very much wants to be a fashion designer, and there's like, she's working for her, and then she starts to compete with her. I think it was overall a very enjoyable movie. I thought it was cool.
All right, that's cool. Maybe I'll check it out. I might check it out, because my friend said he liked it too. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't really go by his taste a lot, because a lot of things he like I don't like.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I might check this out. I mean, it looks all right, mm-hmm. and I do like Emma Stone. Mm-hmm. I mean, she's been all right. The things I used to see, I haven't seen her in a while though.
Yeah,
because I haven't watched the movies she's been in. I think probably lately.
I will say, it starts out kind of like laughable. Like, you're like, oh, this is how this is gonna go. And that might be a good or a bad thing to you, depending on how you kind of take it. But I would say in the first like 45 minutes, if you're not feeling it, then you probably won't really be feeling the rest of the movie. Like, it establishes its kind of vibe and tone pretty quickly.
Oh, okay. All right. So I guess now we get to what we've been playing. So I guess you can start it off.
Yeah. So I've been playing some more Kaze. I can't remember. I think I'm at No, I didn't quite get to the boss of the second world yet, because I actually went back to the first level and tried to collect all those green gemstones that you get 2 pieces of in each level. Because there's that like level in the middle that you open up if you collect all of them for that level. So I just wanted to kind of see what kind of levels it was opening up if you do that. And the one that it opens up is very weird. Like, it's the ground disappears, so you're like going through without knowing where you can and can't jump. But obviously they give you like subtle clues, like enemies will come and attack you, or you kind of know that you need to jump on this enemy, so you jump between these 2 enemies. And there was another level that was, what was I doing, where it was just very intense. That was the same level, actually. No? Shit, I can't remember. But there was a level that was very much like, I'm bouncing from thing to thing to thing to thing, and you had to be like very spot on to...
Oh, yeah, I just completed that level.
Okay, yeah. That one was intense.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, yeah, that's what it was, because that's when you were talking about extra masks last week. It's the tiger mask one.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so I've gotten to the tiger mask, and then there's a level after that where you revisit being the bird person again.
Bird person, yeah. I did that one.
So yeah, it sounds like maybe we're around the same area right now. Then.
Yeah, we're probably the same, because I didn't get to the last boss of the second area either yet.
Yeah, but I'm still really digging that game. I think some of the stuff that they're doing with that is very clever, especially like with the tiger mask, because it's because the tiger mask is like almost an infinite runner type thing. Like, you're always moving forward, and then you're using like your jump and attack buttons to either do like a double jump or do like a downward strike. So it's very much, it feels almost like a bit trip runner kind of thing, or what was it, Earth Knight that we played sort of more recently than that, where you're always moving forward, but you can kind of control your ascent and decline, or whatever, ascent and descent. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they what was that game called? Darn, I forgot. Rise Up, not Rise Up.
Oh right, yeah, It was it Rise Up? It might have been.
No, never yield.
Yes, yeah, that's the one. Yeah, exactly, like that one. Yeah, it kind of felt like that. So I always like when games give you a little different styles of gameplay. Like we always talk about like Inside, where there are concepts throughout that game where it feels like this whole section could be the basis of its own game, and then this whole section kind of thing. So yeah, I'm still very much enjoying it. It's a good looking game. There's maybe like a lack of enemy variety. Like you see a lot of the same, like tomatoes and corn on the cobs and stuff like that. But you know, it kind of comes along with the territory too. We're not that far into it.
I wonder if you go to the next world, maybe you'll see different enemies. Like this game definitely reminds me, like it's Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
Somewhat, yeah. It kind of reminds, like the platforming, the way it does platforming, like Donkey Kong.
Definitely, yeah. Because there's some like momentum to it too, in the way that Donkey Kong had. So yeah, yeah. That's basically what I've been playing this week. What have you been playing, Dominic?
All right, so I played some more Dragon Age. I finally finished the dwarf section. I mean, I basically done everything. I mean, as far as getting all the allies, I'm just going to do some side quests here and there. The dwarf Ozamar is the city where the dwarves, and that's the biggest section in the game. It's very long, and
okay.
It's somewhat a little boring when you get to the part of going through the dungeons. Like I felt like that could have been done better, or at least have a little more variety. But like variety, just more. It could have been more condensed. I don't know. It just seemed very stale. But the story is good. The overall story of it is pretty good, because you learn about how the golems were formed, because they were like. So you have the Darkspawn. Darkspawn is those monster enemies in there. That comes in fights, but every so often, every so many years, there's a thing called a blight, where it'll be a lot more of them that comes up to the surface and try to just destroy everything. And the reason why it's called a blight is because they'll have like this leader called an archdemon, which is usually, I guess, a dragon, and that leads them. And it just goes and try to destroys all the races, humans, elves, and dwarves. But when it's not a blight, there's still Darkspawn around, but I guess they're just pretty much like leaderless, and there'll just be some of them, but usually they just stay underground, and the dwarves have to deal with them, because they live underground. So it's just the dwarves dealing with them. So when I had the dwarves to help, so some of them don't really care. It's like, hey, we deal with these things all the time. That's your problem now. So they're saying, even though they have come to agreement, like there's an agreement that's been in place a long time ago with the Grey Wardens. They were the group I'm with is the Grey Wardens. There was a pact that was made that all the races will come together when a blight comes. So they still recognize the pact, but they were in the middle of picking a king, because they don't have a king. The king just died, and the king did not want the son to become king, his son, and this other guy was trying to become king. So it's a fight for the crown. An assembly has to decide who's to be king. And I had to choose a side, who I want to side with to help become king. And of course, I picked the one that's really more good, because I kind of found out the son, he really tried to get his way. He's actually the youngest, but he got one of them, the first one, killed, supposedly, and then he got the other brother to get blamed for it, and the other brother got exiled, so he is the only chosen one. And the father kind of knew that he was not going to be a good king. So that's why he did not want him to become king. So I didn't choose his side. I chose the other guy's side, Paramount. And thing is, to help get proof, to help, not proof, but to help convince the assembly to go with Paramount, Paramount has to prove himself to why he should be king. So I fought in the proving for him. The proving is like this battle tournament, so I fought in his name. I guess that wasn't enough. Then I killed this gang leader that's a part of the casteless group, because the Doors have a caste system. So I did that, and that didn't help him. That wasn't enough. Well, it didn't help. It didn't help him. It wasn't enough. Which I'm thinking, like, God damn, how much more I gotta do? And then he asked, "Can you go look for Bronca? She's a paragon." Now, paragons are living ancestors. They call them because they've done something so great. But they're still alive. So they call them living ancestors because she invented a smokeless coal or something that will prevent people from getting black lung or something like that.
Clean energy, Dominic.
Yes, exactly. But she's gone into the deep rolls. Deep rolls is like deep underground, like in other parts, because the Dwarven city used to be huge. The Dwarven cities used to be connected by these deep roads. And there's be a lot of cities and multiple places that will go all probably around like the country and to other countries too. But Darkspawn has really messed up things. War and Darkspawn have really disconnected the Dwarven cities together. So the deep roads, people do go trek there to go to other cities and to probably find like relics and things of that nature. So she went there to find the anvil like 2 years ago, Bronca, but she hasn't come back. So people are saying she's dead, but some people, her husband, Ogren, who she left behind, thinks she's still alive. So he comes with me. He's part of my group now. And so he comes with me, so we go find her, because we're going to get her, because if you get her to side with Paramount, he would definitely have the throne, because it'd be like, hey, our Paragon's signed with him. So we go to find her, and she's finding this anvil. Now, this anvil is special because it makes golems. Golems are what they used to use against the Darkspawn. And I think they didn't really need Grey Wardens to fight the Dark. Well, actually, still need a Grey Warden to do it, because to kill the Archdemon, you need a Grey Warden. But it was a lot easier to kill Darkspawns with the golems, because you got these big ass rock monsters. But some reason, things have to happen in the past, and the anvil got lost, and the creator got lost. So I went there, found Bronca, and I also found like a member of her crew, and you learn things that have happened within the 2 years. Like she's gone mad. Then you learn how Darkspawn are formed. Like they're formed by, they kill the men, but they do carry the women away. You just never knew what they did with them. What they did was that they changed them because they become brood mothers, and they brood the Darkspawn, basically. So, like, Doors make certain Darkspawns. Like, each race makes a different type of Darkspawn. And, which is funny, because that reminds me of Mass Effect with the, what's they called? What's the big robots called?
The Reapers, right? Yeah.
That reminds me of the Reapers, because Reapers, when they do their, reaping, they change people specifically, like the enemies are specifically what they look like of the race they did. So, I was like, hey, that's just kind of the same way. Yeah. I say, y'all just kind of change it a bit, It's just, so I found Bronca. She's done a lot to sacrifice to find this anvil. But then she said she'll help me if she help me find the anvil. I had to get past these traps and shit. So I did that. But then I meet the creator of the anvil. He tells me the reason why he stopped the anvil is because the anvil requires sacrifice. Like, the golems are dwarves. You have to sacrifice yourself to become a golem. And he said he didn't want to do that anymore. And he's a golem himself, because I think his king in the past, so hundreds of years ago, whatever the hell, how old he is, wanted him to keep creating them. So they turned him to a golem when he wouldn't do it anymore. But thing is, they didn't know how to use it. So Bronca still wants to do it, though. She said, "I know we need an anvil." So I had to choose a side. I chose against Bronca, and once I beat her, he gave me a crown and said, "Give this to whoever you think should be king." So I give it to the guy who I wanted to be king, and that's how that really ended. So yeah, so now I'm basically close to the end now. I'm close to the end. I just want to do some side quests a bit, and then I'll probably finish the game up by the time we do the next podcast.
Gotcha.
But yeah, this game, I just remember how much I really enjoyed this. Like, the story, it's really the story of this game. Like, gameplay wise, it's it's really the story that really keeps me going, because it was well written, man. I mean, like, the lore. I mean, that's why I like what BioWare games. The BioWare done so great with the lore of their games. I can't really speak on the Iron Man game. What the hell is that game called?
Oh, Anthem. Duh.
Anthem, yes. Anthem. I knew it was an A.
It's like Iron Man.
The lore, I mean, it might be good, but I just, I haven't gotten into it. So, I don't know. Yeah. But usually BioWare games, I usually like the stories and the lore and everything they have with it. Like, I get invested into it. All right, so the next game I played, Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I still play some more of that. And this game really feels, I mean, it has, because of the setting, it reminds me of Witcher a lot. Like, walking around, like, the open world and things of that nature. And because Witcher had a lot of settings. And then they had a section that was like the Vikings. I forgot what it was called. The place was called, I think it began with an S. But yeah, so it kind of has that feel. It was another game that it was similar to. Oh, God of War. I mean, because of the Vikings. Yeah. So
all the Norse stuff.
It's kind of like The Witcher and God of War to me. It kind of reminds me of. I did, because since I got the Ultimate Edition one, at least the one that I'm playing, it comes with the wolf horse.
Oh,
because
cool.
When I finally unlocked the stable, and I was looking at the horse and I saw a wolf, I said, "Wolf? So you can ride a wolf in this game?" I didn't know that.
And I think
I heard that in like a podcast. And yeah, so I just be riding my wolf. Thing is, I wish it was like a real wolf where if I see an enemy, I could just eat its horse or something, or like just grab it. But it just acts like a horse.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, but it's still like, I think the guy who I heard talk about said did it like because it may not feel realistic. But I was like, it's a lot. I mean, they do some other things that don't make feel realistic too. The things I do in this game, so I'm like, whatever. But yeah, the game, it's all right. I'm trying to focus on the story now because I was doing a lot of just, when I was close to something on the map, I would just go to it like there was loot or a little side quest. I would just do it. But that just makes the game, I mean, longer and like, I feel like, it's like, because some of these things aren't really worth it. I just feel like they're worth it. That's why that's the problem I have with these open world games. It's like, it's a lot of junk, and so busy I'm like, work. I just want to focus on, just keep me busy. I was like, I'm just going to focus on the story, and then maybe I'll come back to do something else, because I do want to kind of do some of those raiding missions again, but I'll focus on the story for a bit right now, and the story is pretty good. I mean, going through the story, I do enjoy it. I'm at the point where I'm supposed to be taking over this this fort. With this king. Well, we took it over, but it's still not officially, he's still officially king of the land. So we have to find him to get the crown, basically.
Gotcha.
So he either had to forfeit it or we have to kill him, so we can say, hey, he's not going to be king. But it's a lot of stuff around that too. So, but getting back to the story is where I really want to do. Because I actually, like, for the last few weeks, I think I've been doing mostly side quests. So I haven't really been much focus on the story. I tried out Yakuza Like a Dragon.
Oh, cool.
The new Yakuza game that came out in the last year.
Mm-hmm.
I played it on a PC, and I'm only at the very beginning. So it's a lot of cutscenes. I did record it, but it's a lot of cutscenes. I mean, Yakuza has a lot of cutscenes. Sometimes it'd be a while till you play something, and especially the beginning. It's not a lot of playing. It's a lot of the cutscenes, which I'm okay with because the story's it's good and funny. Like this feels really lighthearted. Compared so far, it feels lighthearted compared to the other Yakuza games. I mean, as far as the main story, like because the main story in the other games were pretty serious, but the side quest stories were all just hilarious. This feels like, and your character, he's not super serious like the Yakuza's original character, who I'm blanking on his now. Kiro. He's very lighthearted but he's still a guy who wants to do good. Like, we're supposed to be out here collecting money for the Yakuza, like getting collections, but he's like one guy we stopped him because he was selling pornographic tapes to kids. But that was just animal porn. And not weird. The animal porn that you think is really just animals just fucking each other. Because it was weird. A lie. He'll lie to the kids and say, hey, this is like porn. And then the kids realize it's not porn. It's just
weird animal fucking.
And yeah. And so I beat him up. I get the money, but I don't take the money to collect it. I give it back to the kids. And then, I give it to my buddy to give it back to the kids. And then another guy owes some money. I beat him up, but I used the technicality and said, well, my boss only asked for the wallet. So I spilled the money out. And then the guy asked, why'd you do this, man? We ain't bringing no money to the boss. And I said, look, he's working on New Year's, because it's New Year's Eve. He say, you think a guy like that working on New Year's Eve has money? They said really has money to really pay for right now. They say he's gonna pay us. He said, how you know? Say, because he's working on New Year's Eve right now, and he reason got that money is because I know that he's supporting his mom who was in the hospital. So you got that, like, that kind of guy, like a hero. He even says it. It's like, I want to be a hero. I want to be a hero, just like in those Dragon Quest games. He's talking about Dragon Quest. So, and the battle system is not like the previous Yakuza games. It's turn-based. It's just like an RPG, and it's good. I like it. Like, it's fun. Like the fight system was great in the other games to me. I mean, it was okay action games. Like, I had fun playing them. But going to this battle system, what doesn't hurt it for me? It to me, it kind of enhances it so far.
Nice.
Like, so far, I'm liking it. I mean, I'll see you as to keep going, but so far, it's really interesting. Like, you got your attacks, you got your special abilities. They do have it like where you can time your attacks. You know, kind of like what Mario RPG does, or games of that nature. South Park. So you're still very much involved, you know, in the battles. But yeah, so far I'm really liking this game. I'm kind of taking a break. Like, I don't want to get too much into it because I'm going to probably keep playing it because I want to at least finish Dragon Age or Assassin's Creed. Most likely it's going to be Dragon Age first. I'll finish first, and then I'll play that. But yeah, this game, it's fun. I mean, I already can see that it's going to be pretty fun, and the story is great, and it's dubbed. It's English dubbed. No, I can actually don't have to read the subtitles, so I can focus on watching the characters on screen. I know some people, they still probably don't like it. I mean, I never looked at reviews of what people thought, because I didn't know it was English dubbed. I did not know. I thought it was Japanese.
Yeah. So
I didn't hear nobody talk about that. I'm sure people, they still say, oh, the English voice acting is probably not good. It's good enough for me. I mean, it's all right to me. And I can just focus on actual what's going on instead of focus on the subtitles. So I'm very happy with that. I'm very happy they actually did that. And I think that's all I played. Yeah, because I didn't play any more Manhunter. I didn't touch that this week. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I think that's it. That's all I played.
All right.
So I guess we'll take a quick break. When we get back, we get to the flashback segment.
All right.
And we're back. And now we're flashbacking to 2011, 10 years ago in June, new month. So, first game we got up here that came out this week in June is Days of Thunder for the PSP. I guess just in time for the movie that came out probably like 20 years before that.
Exactly.
Or maybe, yeah. So, like, why is this a thing? Why is...
Because NASCAR was hot, Dominic. I don't know.
It was the Days of Thunder NASCAR edition. Okay, so who made this game? It was developed by Piranha Games and Paramount Digital Entertainment. 505 Games. 505, I've seen them. They done games.
Yeah. Apparently, the PS3 version of this game was bundled with the film. When you're selling your game and the movie at the same time, you might be in trouble.
All right, so what we got here next? Armageddon Riders for the PlayStation Network. What is this?
This is like a racing game, but also you can... I mean, they're like weapons and stuff, obviously, from the Armageddon terminology. But there's also like people on the raceway that you're just running over.
Oh man, maybe they're criminals, and this is what their execution is. You just
just stand here.
And if you survive this, you get to be free.
Yeah, it looks pretty wild.
All right, so what else we got here? We got Under Siege on the PlayStation 3, and it's not what I thought it was for some reason. It is a tactics game. It's a real-time tactics game developed by a Portuguese company called Seed Studios. It does have a single-player campaign. It does have multiplayer. You can use the PlayStation Move controller if you want.
That's weird.
I guess like a mouse.
I mean, it makes sense, but also like...
Yeah.
I didn't know that they did games like that weren't just... the virtual reality.
The game, it did get like a 7 out of 10 on Edge. It got 69%, I think, on Metacritic altogether. 7 out of 10 on GameSpot. But yeah, I never heard of this game.
I don't remember it at all.
Yeah, I don't know if Seed Studios even around. Probably not. Yeah, it doesn't look like. I mean, I don't see anything else from them. Oh, it's probably by Sony Entertainment, so maybe they got just gobbled up to be somewhere else. But that's what we like to hope that's what happened. All right, and last and possibly least, Duke Nukem Critical Mass came on Nintendo DS.
Yeah,
I don't remember that a Duke Nukem game came on Nintendo DS, but it did.
I thought they maybe did like a remake, or not a remake, but like a re-release of Duke 3D. But that doesn't appear to be what this is.
Yeah, you said it's a side-scrolling shooter, I guess?
Yeah, it looks like a side-scrolly thing. You can go into the, the background and stuff, but it's like a third-person thing mostly. Yeah, it seems weird. I mean, the video I'm watching on YouTube is obviously from an emulator because it's like very clear. And
really?
It's like, this isn't what a DS game looks like. But it just shows off its flaws even more. Like it looks so bad. I don't know. That's sad. I don't know. I would have thought at least a side scroller they could release something decent, because like I always think of like the Game Boy Color and on, where it's like I'm just releasing, or even like the Super Nintendo, like we're releasing licensed properties that people don't really care about too much, but they're still somehow competent platforming games.
Yeah. You remember like, what's it called? BioArmed? Or the Rearmed one. I forgot what it was.
Bionic Commando.
What was Bionic Commando, yeah. And they had the 3D one, which didn't work out, but they did it also 2D one, and that turned out to be pretty damn good.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
Yeah,
I think we were past Duke's prime at this point, which I guess is pretty much just Duke 3D. Yeah. All
right. So now we're going back 20 years. So 20 years ago in June. In 2001, what came out this week? Fur Fighters.
Oh boy.
Came to the PlayStation 2. Fur Fighters is a shooter, 3D shooting game where you play as these lovable furry things, but they're not too lovable. They like to shoot each other. And I think it got mediocre scores, that nature. I remember seeing like advertisements of this in magazines. Talk about like, hey, look cute and cuddly, and you shoot with them. What else came out? We got Return of the Ninja for the Game Boy Color. I don't know what this is, but I'm guessing you're a ninja and you return.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. And we got the Walmart SUV Parking Lot Challenge.
This is rough.
Did you get this game, Daniel? Came out on the PC. Did you look up this game?
Yes, I'm actually looking at it now because I wanted to see what it was, and it's not what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was at least going to be like 3D, but it's literal top down. Looks like it was made in like MS Paint or something like that.
Oh my goodness,
this is real rough.
Do you at least like got the Walmart carts around? We have to dodge them.
There is a cart here I see, but it doesn't even have a blue handle, so it's off brand. Yeah, I'm not sure that this is officially licensed. I don't necessarily trust this, Dominic. It does have the Walmart logo on it though, so I don't know.
All right, so what else we got here? We got World War II Online Blitzkrieg came out. This is the online World War II game, as you can see. I'm sure it's a shooter game. You get the first month free, I see on the cover here, for your online subscription.
Oh, thank goodness.
So you get on that. You have to go to playnet.com to play. It's a strategy game. And we got Gangsters 2. I do remember this. Gangsters 2 is a tactics game, a gangsters tactics game. I remember seeing this. I was thinking, like, because I always liked those tactics games. I liked Warcraft and StarCraft. Mm. Now, I don't remember if this was like real time or was it like turn-based? I wouldn't say it was real time, but I'm not sure. But it was turn-based. Okay, it was turn-based. But I don't know what this got rated.
Let's see. 61 on Metacritic. But a 7.6 user score. So.
All right. Maybe the first one got rated okay, possibly. Well, it sold well enough for they could do number 2. And IDOS did this, so they IDOS should do a sequel.
You got like
work on a sequel.
Al Capone on the cover or something, so clearly that
yeah,
got something going on there. Do you have to license his image, or can you just use it? Is that in like public files, so you can just be like, I'm going to use his image to promote my game?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that the Capone family gets some money from that. All right, and also I got a game for 15 years ago. I figure I'd mention. Now, here's the thing. I've seen different dates from multiple sources on what date this game came out. It did come out this year, so I figure I might as well say it now while I remember, because I'm not gonna. I either missed it or I'm not going to remember to say it if I put the other date up here. In 1996, Darkstalkers came out. The Night Warriors for the PlayStation. I think it came out before a year ago. It came on arcades, but the PlayStation version came out, and I don't know if this is the first one I played. I don't know, or was it 2 or 3?
I think
I'm not
2
sure.
might have been the first one I played over my buddy's house, but then he rented this one or something.
I got it because my dad, he modded my PlayStation so I can play burnt games, and the guy had recommended this, and either I forgot which one it was. I don't think it was Darkstalkers 1, but that's where I got introduced to the Darkstalkers series, was through one of the sequels. Yeah. And I just liked it, how it looked. It looked good, like a cartoon, like anime. And it felt good playing it too. Yeah. And I was like, man, this game is pretty cool. I was like, this game is all right.
Because it was different from like a Street Fighter, because it had all these like kind of fantasy style characters wolf men and cat ladies and vampiresses, succubuses and whatnot. I thought that was so cool.
Yeah, exactly. I like. Yeah, I love the characters, and I wish Capcom would revisit it, but yes. I don't know.
But not with like Marvel versus Capcom style. Give me hand-drawn stuff.
Oh, nah. Definitely not.
You know what?
Yeah.
Capcom, don't make another one of these. Just give Arxis the license and let them make that.
Well, it's just that I just think, I would hope Capcom would do something like that. Like give the license away, because if they struggle just to do Street Fighter, that they had to get it like Sony to help them with and just be exclusive to them, I'm just thinking like, maybe, I don't know how much resources they have. I mean, you think the games they've done well with Resident Evil and Monster Hunter, they'll be all right, but I don't know. Yeah. I'm not sure. All right. So now, since it's a new month, what we like to do every beginning of a new month is do what the covers were from 10 years ago and 20 years ago and even longer. So we're going to start with 10 years ago, and we're starting with PlayStation Magazine, and they have Tomb Raider on the front.
Why has it already been 10 years, Dominic? That's crazy. This is new series Tomb Raider.
Comes of age. The rebooted, reborn, ready to risk it all.
Wow.
And also they got Saints Row the Third. Outrageous, crass, idiotic, awesome. Question mark with the awesome. I don't know why.
Because they weren't sure yet.
Yeah, they weren't sure.
Definitely uneasy about it.
And then we just got the Saints Row the Third remastered. Mm-hmm. That just came. Well, remaster, I guess. I don't know.
HD remaster.
Yeah. And also, secrets of the PlayStation Network revealed.
The secrets were, at this time, it was not working.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's what happened. Yeah, that's right. This is about that, with it being hacked. Yeah. And now those guys moved to bigger things, Daniel. They're hacking our meat supplies and our oil.
Yep.
All right. Also reviewed SOCOM 4, Portal 2, Mortal Kombat. Also, they got Batman Arkham City, Sonic, PS3 Essentials, El Shaddai.
Yeah, El Shaddai. Yeah, El Shaddai. I want to say that was like that boss rush style game. It was like cell shaded, but very like ethereal looking. And I think you were like trying to slay gods or something like that. Or you were a god.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember.
All right. So what else we got? We got here Electronic Gaming Monthly. They had, guess what? Dead Island, baby. Welcome to the Zombie Apocalypse. It's been 10 years since Dead Island came out, and the sequel is coming, right, Daniel? This is right.
Yeah,
around the corner.
Totally. I mean, theoretically, yes. It sounds like. I mean, they're releasing trailers. They're talking about this game, but
no, they're not.
Oh shit! No, they're not. It's Dying Light. Oh god, no, no. Dead Island is dead in the water, Dominic. God, even I'm fucking confusing them at this point.
Yeah, Dead Island. Welcome to Zombie Apocalypse. Also, new info on Darkness 2, Resistance 3. Hey, Darkness 2 didn't come out yet. Street Fighter, Cross Tekken, Spider-Man, Edge of Time. Oh, Edge of Time. And top 10 games you never got to play.
That list just keeps getting bigger and bigger for me, Dominic.
Yeah. Also, they have Ed's Tim Willits rages in the EGM interview. Oh, talk about rage, I guess. EGM guide to getting schooled in game design.
Oh, getting schooled.
And 10 things you didn't know about Duke Nukem Forever. Oh.
Like it's going to be good.
And they have some reviews. Yeah. Also, they have 20 plus previews, plus our exclusive first look at FIFA 12. Yes.
It's like FIFA 11, but more.
All right. Where I'm at here, Dan. Okay. We got Nintendo Power, baby.
Man.
And we got Sonic.
Who would have thought?
You got old Sonic and new Sonic for Sonic Generations.
He doesn't belong on a Nintendo Power cover, Dominic.
And this was good because this was the Sonic's
Generations.
What? 20th anniversary? He's on a 35th anniversary right now, right?
So 25?
So 25, my fault. I'm sorry. I don't know how to count. Yeah, 25th anniversary. So Sonic Generations, it made it in time.
Yeah.
All right. And also they talk about The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time 3D, Shinobi, Mega Man Legends 3, Mario and Sonic at London 2012 Olympics, and Cave Story 3D.
Cave Story 3D, it's good.
All right, so what else we got here, Dan? We got Game Informer. And here's your game, Assassin's Creed Revelations.
Yeah.
This is the last one, right?
Yeah, of the Ezio trilogy. Yeah, and surprisingly good. Another one that I thought was going to be just like, oh, we're cashing in on Ezio, and then turned out to be a really cool game.
Destiny converges in Ezio's final chapter.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
This is like the final good game on Assassin's Creed. Aside from Black Flag. As far as story, but as far as the story outside the Animus.
Yep.
This was like the last one for a while. Like, actually, I don't even know the story of the Animus on this one. The one I'm playing now. I got Wikipedia.
Is there outside Animus stuff?
I did do one thing you got outside Animus for.
So crazy. It's funny to think too, because I remember first seeing the Assassin's Creed game, and once it was revealed, because it was kind of a secret that this was going to be like a weird future-y thing, I was always like, well, why don't they just make those games? Like, I don't need this outside the Animus stuff. And now that they're making those games, it's kind of like, oh, but that's what this series was. Like, what about that story?
I mean, you had the story that felt like it was building up to something.
Mm-hmm. And then
I guess you're just never going to get there.
Yeah.
You just, it's just, I don't know. Like, I don't know I don't know Ezio's story. I got to look it up again. I mean, it was just weird how it ended. I mean, not Ezio's.
Desmond's.
Well, the guy, what's his name? Desmond. Yeah. All right. So last but not least, we got PC Gamer Magazine, and it has your other game up here, Dan.
Yeah.
Portal 2.
Mind's blown, Dominic.
Equal blown.
Absolutely. My mind was blown.
And I still have not played this game.
I was like, I got to play this with people? Ugh, my mind is blown.
I have to play this game. I don't know when. I still have not played it. It's been 10 years. Our verdict, Valve busts out with the best game of the year. Damn, they already said it, and it's June.
Done. Close up the shop. It's over.
Also, hands-on in our 18-hour marathon of Star Wars The Old Republic.
Oh, man.
Yeah. They were, oh my God. Just people talking about that game. I used to hate it because I saw nothing of the game. They showed nothing. They couldn't show anything to the public of the game except for those CG trailers.
Which were incredible.
They were incredible.
But they were lies.
Oh, also, this is the world's #1 PC games magazine.
Oh, of course.
And easy peasy, get AAA games for less than $10.
Just steal them. I mean, what? Not on the PC, Dominic. How would you do that? Torrents? I wouldn't even know.
And well, Steam was around, so they had those Steam sales.
No, there you go.
Kill Streak, weapons training in Call of Duty Black Ops. Yeah, like a magazine is going to tell me how to be good at Call of Duty. Whatever. If the video can't help me, damn sure reading it ain't going to help me. And look at this. Which of these non-indie games is the next Portal? What is it, Daniel? What was the next Portal? I don't know.
But now I want to look up that magazine and find out what they were thinking they were. So I'd be like, no, this is definitely not it.
All right, so that is it for 2011. So now we're going back 20 years. Let's see what the hell was on these covers. We got PC Gamer again. So 20 years ago, they had Star Wars Battleground on the front cover. Age of Empires Strikes Back. Yep, world exclusive.
He's striking back all right. Oh, this Stormtrooper looks very laxed on this gun, I want to say, Dominic.
But yeah, I was really anticipating this game because it just sounded so cool like hearing a game where you just fighting the wars of Star Wars, and with all these troops around and things of that nature.
Because that's the tactical one, right?
I thought Battlegrounds was a shooter.
Was it? I thought that's why they said the Age of Empires Strikes Back, because it was like Age of Empires stuff.
Okay, I'm getting confused with something.
Yeah, Battlegrounds is like
it is a tactical one.
Yeah.
Okay, what is the shooter called?
Not Battlefront, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay. Gotcha. See,
man, why they got to put Battlefront and Battlegrounds?
Because they're not very creative, Dominic. That's why. Everything's a battle.
Then I don't know nothing fucking about this game.
I don't
know nothing about this damn game.
I don't know if it's this one that I had played like a demo of. I guess 2001. That feels a little late. Nah, I don't know. Maybe there might have been a demo of this that I downloaded off like AOL Games or something. It's 2001. Too late for AOL, Dominic.
Too late for AOL?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, then yeah, I'm gonna say I downloaded like the demo of this, and I was like, I'm gonna play as the Gungans, and it was awesome because I didn't know any better at the time.
Nah, I didn't pay any PC games in 2000. This is what, high school? Yeah, I didn't pay no PC games in high school. I didn't care about them. I didn't have a PC to play games like that. Like once I found out I couldn't play the Battle Runner game, I didn't just stop caring. Black and White Strategy in review in here.
That's a game I couldn't play on my PC, and I wanted to so bad.
Also they rated Tribes 2, The Sims House Party, Fallout Tactics, Serious Sam, and 13 more.
Fallout Tactics, when that was new.
God darn. Yeah. Jesus. Also, 12 Spectacular Scoops, Civilization 3, CNC Renegade, Return to Castle Wolfenstein. Oh, here we go. I think that actually ended up coming to the Xbox.
Yeah, I think so. That's one of the better ones, right? I want to say.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know how it got rated. I don't think it was terrible. I don't know if it was terrible, though. I don't think it was terrible, but I don't know how it got rated. I just remember seeing in a magazine like the Xbox had a Wolfenstein game, and I was mad because it didn't come to PlayStation 2. Warcraft 3. Oh my goodness, yes.
The other one doesn't feel that that long ago, Dominic, but then you start listing off these games and making me think of AOL, and I'm like, oh my god.
Freelancer, Sigma, and more. Exclusive screenshots and info. Plus special hands-on report of Diablo 2, Lord of Destruction. And Half-Life Blue Shift. And Dungeon Siege. Yeah, Blue Shift is where you played as the cop.
I think so, yeah, like one of the security guys or something.
Yeah, security guys, yeah. All right. So what else we got here, Dan? We got Game Informer. Mm-hmm. Look at here. Look at Kane, baby.
Mayor Kane.
I had this magazine because I remember this is where they had, it was like a big WWF, well, there right here it says WWF exclusive. It was like a blowout. Mm-hmm. They showed off the Xbox's Raw, and it looked good.
I remember it being incredible looking, like so impressive.
Yeah. Like I was so jelly. I was so jelly, Dan. Like, I was like, because I saw the SmackDown look good. It looked good to me. But then I saw the Xbox's game. I said, what the fuck? I said, what? Why? It looked so much better. I was like, no.
Can't be true.
You can't be better.
And then it turned out to be a crap game. That was like broken,
so I was like,
too.
Good. I was like, good. It's not good. It's like, you take that Xbox. Even though our game ain't that great, but it's better than yours. But yeah. WF, then they talked about, and then it showed off, what was it? The GameCube one.
Oh, is that like Day of Reckoning or something?
No, it wasn't that one. It was WrestleMania. Damn, let me look it up. GameCube. Actually, they probably didn't show it in this magazine.
19.
Yeah, I don't think they showed it in this magazine, though. I don't think they did, because it's just PlayStation 2 and Xbox. Yeah. They probably ain't showing this magazine, but I remember seeing those. Dead or Alive 3, Xbox Undressed Inside. Ooh, Undressed thing.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
I know what they're doing too.
Also, what they got here? Tricked Out, Mondo Tips and Secrets for Matt Hoffman's Pro BMX. Cool. Tokyo Game Show 2001. See the latest and greatest from the land of the rising sun. Siphon Filter 3. Oh, man. Why did PlayStation not get this series back? Gabe Logan isn't finished with the PlayStation yet? Well, he will be. After he bring that online PlayStation 2 one out that nobody ever freaking played.
Exactly.
And GameCube Star Wars. Amazing Screens of Rogue Leader for Nintendo's upcoming console. Man, they look good.
Uh-huh.
And they look good. And it was a good game. All right. What we got here? We got Next Gen Magazine, Dan. And they got, hey, look, speaking of Rogue Leader. Rogue Leader is on the front. Rogue Squadron 2. You get to play as Porkins. He's back there somewhere. He's in the Fat X-Wing. Where's the Fat X-Wing at? Our exclusive 10-page report will blow you away.
I was blown away.
Also, they reviewed Black and White. And they reviewed also Quake 3 for the PlayStation 2. And Zone of Enders. Also, Inside Sega. Multi-platform plans exposed and new Dreamcast games revealed.
Dominic, it's finally happening.
They keep it. They keeping us thinking like the Dreamcast is going to last, though. They keep telling me to do Dreamcast games. Also, new for PS2, Spy Hunter, Batman Vengeance, and Shadow Man 2. I think I remember all these games. Like Spy Hunter, yeah, I remember that. And I remember they were talking like, oh, The Rock's going to be in a movie or something like that, Spy Hunter. And that never happened. And Batman Vengeance, I do remember that game. It didn't turn out to be that good.
Was that one of the cartoon-based ones?
No, I don't think that. No, I think that's the Shinsu one.
Batman Vengeance.
Whatever. But it was some Asian thing. But no, Batman Vengeance. I think that was like a 3D one. Yeah, I remember the cover. Yeah, maybe it is based. Oh, you know what? It is based off the cartoon.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't know they had two cartoon ones.
Oh, the new Batman Adventures cartoon.
Oh yeah, I didn't like that design.
Yeah, that one's kind of weird.
Yeah, I watched the cartoon like recently because I was looking at the Batman miniseries and when it changed, how they changed the characters and because it was kind of like with Superman and people had pupils that didn't used to have pupils and I didn't like that, man. That just didn't. It's like this don't make sense to me. So what else we got here? Shadow Man. I remember it, but I don't remember. Like, I can't really tell what
we talked about, like, the
I think
original
he's the guy
one
who's dead.
Relatively recently, right? Because they did the remake of it, remaster, rather.
But it was, I think it's called Shadow Man, called Shadow Man Second Coming.
Yes, he did come twice.
But he reminds me of, definitely, he's Vin Diesel. And,
yes, with weird little glasses.
Yeah, and then I guess he's dead. He's dead, and maybe
definitely had some
like
weird like
soul,
chest stuff going on, like his heart was cut out or something.
Yeah, exactly. I remember, like, I think the first one's where you saw like his rib cage and shit.
Yeah,
that's why I think you remember. Yeah, see, that stuff gets boiled into my mind.
I was too young to see that.
All right, so we go into Electronic Gaming Monthly. And we got Tony Hawk 3 on the front.
That's some early 2000s ass cover right there. Just like the weird montage of different scenes of him skateboarding and a dude BMXing and everybody.
Yeah, you got him, and this is all. I guess this is like all the Activision
ones.
Games. Yeah. Sean Palmer's Pro Snowboarder. Kelly Slater's Pro Surfer.
I remember that.
Matt Hoffman's Pro BMX 2. Yeah. I mean, yeah, this is definitely. Oh man.
Oh yeah, and 3 was the first one that was like online and everything. Yeah, man.
Yeah. That game, man, that game was fun. That game was that's the first one I ever played, and I played the hell out of it too. Final Fantasy X. We play Square's PS2 masterpiece. This is when we used to call the X's 10s back in the day. Now we gotta call when you see X, you gotta call it X
or cross.
Or cross. Yeah, it is in between something. Sega on Xbox. Crazy Taxi 2, Panzer Dragoon, Jet Grind Radio Future.
Yeah, that was when we really thought that maybe like the Xbox was going to be the successor to the Dreamcast.
Yeah.
They were getting those original IPs.
Also, Devil May Cry, Capcom's new PS2 Evo.
That's so crazy.
Spider-Man 2 swings onto PS1.
Now we're talking.
Yeah, there's definitely Activision on this cover then.
Yeah, somebody might paid for a little bit of sponsorship here, I think.
All right. So what else we got here, Dan? We got Edge Magazine. What came on Edge 10 years ago? We got this little beauty. EXO, the game that never came out, existed, Daniel.
Is that what
I remember
happened
seeing
to it?
this.
Because, like, I roughly remember it, I feel like.
Yes, it never came out. EXO, the next generation of PlayStation 2 gaming arrives.
Rough.
And then I thought I saved the article for this because I had an article saying the problems they had. They said they I think one of them was like they went too big, like they started adding.
I mean, just look at these graphics, Dominic. That's ambitious. It looks like trash now, but also like back in the day, that's incredible.
Exactly. I mean, I remember saying, I was like, "Darren, this game looks great," and I just never saw it. I never knew what happened to it. I just forgot about it.
Like this character, like face wise, like model wise, looks like a character from Oblivion. So it's like we're talking about a whole next generation after this came out.
Yeah, I'm getting this from a Push Square website. It said what happened to this, the most ambitious undertaking. And it's okay, here's the game. It's scheduled 60 years in the future where a ruthless corporation its cyber terrorists hold a city to ransom. EXO pushed the creativity and technological innovation of a Sheffield company to the limit and promised to be a blockbusting game changer for the PlayStation 2. And creative supremo Glenn Williams chatted to a Gremlin and Works author, Mark Hardesty, about the genesis of particle systems, interference from the French, and how his team brought a sprawling metropolis teeming with squad of mechanical monster athletes to life. So that's what,
the French
they talk to. Yeah, I'm trying to see. It says I'm trying to see where it says like what happened. It said it was a hybrid, a cross between first-person perspective, role-playing game, and tower defense. But the decision to make the game based around teams also led to one of the weaknesses in the design, as players controlled a bunch of mechanized athletes. An admitted mistake looking back. The problem with Exos, continues Glenn, and the kindest thing to say was it was too many windmills to tilt at. It was a shooter in terms of interface. You would look from a first-person point of view, then you had a multi-character tactical perspective. Most of the problems will be solved from one character's point of view, but from hopping between members. Yes, the game. They need to work. They can do the game now.
Yep. Too ambitious back then. Now it'd just be a tiny game, be an indie game.
Yeah. All right. So I do have one more cover from 30 years ago, Daniel. 30 years ago, GamePro had a cover. And look is on the cover. I don't know what the hell this is. Some semblance of a hedgehog, I guess. Some cartoony, like Looney Tunes looking version of Sonic.
I think that's the movie version of Sonic on the cover of this game. GamePro predicted it, Dominic.
As a kid, I would like this, though. So this is what he got me. It's like, yay, Sonic.
It's
real
rough.
Sonic the Hedgehog is on the cover, man. And it's Sonic the Hedgehog, new for the Genesis. Will he leave Mario in the dust? And yes, he does, Daniel. He left him in the dust. He said, zoom.
Yep.
See you later.
His games hit the bottom of the barrel so quickly that Mario just didn't even know where he went. He was like, where'd he go? Whatever. Down there. Okay.
16-bit buyer's guide. Plus reviews on TV, sports, basketball. Fatal Labyrinth. Star Control and James Pond. I guess that was the duck. I guess that was the duck, James Bond.
It was the what was James Pond?
Was it a frog?
Was he a
What else is in the pond, Daniel?
Yes, he was a tadpole.
A tadpole, okay.
Well, I guess he was a frog or whatever. But no, he was a tadpole, I think. Yeah, he was, yeah. It's a weird little amphibious
They
creature.
bring him back. They bring James Pond back.
Nobody wants that, Dominic. That's like people asking for Bubsy back. Nobody wants that, really.
Also, new for your Nintendo, Uninvited. I don't know what that is. Monopoly. Lone
he was
Ranger.
a mud skipper. Sorry, Dominic. He was a mud skipper.
A mud skipper. Oh, okay, yeah. Look, Rocketeer, Daniel, because of the movie.
Yep.
And Vice. What was this Vice game about? Were you going after people and drugs and stuff, man? In a Nintendo game?
You were doing a documentary on people doing drugs and stuff. And then you started your own channel.
I'm trying to see. Oh, I've seen this cover before.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. Vice Project Doom. I guess these could be drug dealers, but they're super. And they got, like, monsters who can fly and shit.
Oh, shit.
I don't think Vice probably stands for what we, like, it does for, like, the police. But that's what's called Vice Project Doom.
I do not remember that cover.
Yeah, I've seen this
80s
cover
action
before.
movie
Yeah.
cover.
It does, yeah. It definitely does. I mean, it was right outside the 80s, Daniel, you know?
Yeah, that's
1991.
true. I mean, 91 was still definitely the 80s.
All right, so that is it for the flashback segment. And I guess we'll take a break. And when we get back, we get to the gaming news.
All right.
And we're back. Let's get into the gaming news. So what we got, Dan?
All right, Dominic. So we're not quite there yet, but E3 and Jeff Keighley's Summer Game Fest are coming up quick upon us here. And along with that comes some leaks and rumors. First rumor I saw spread around Twitter the other day was that Arc Systems, the developers behind games such as Blaze Blue and, of course, Dragon Ball Fighter Z, are working on a new game, and this time potentially with the My Hero Academia property. What do you think, Dominic? Are you familiar at all with My Hero Academia? Have you watched any of those?
Nah, I have not watched any of those, so I'm definitely not familiar with it at all. Like, at all.
I've watched, I think, one episode of it just because it's like extremely popular right now. And it seemed all right. My buddy says it's pretty good. He's super into it. So I think from the characters that I've seen, they're all like very crazy. Like there's a girl that's kind of like weirdly froggy looking, and there's, I guess, like the main character is a guy that turns in. I don't know if he turns into like Shazam, but there's like an All Might guy. And then he's like the mentor to the main character, Deku.
Is this a school or something?
Yeah,
is that why it's called Academia?
It's literally, school, and everybody kind of, I think in this world, like certain people have special powers that manifest at some point, and then they get like ushered to this school and learn how to become heroes and stuff like that. But yeah,
does it come on any thing? Is it Netflix or?
I don't think it's Netflix, although it might show up there eventually. Where does it? My Hero Academia. I think I watched it because Xbox had like a free episode or something like that. You know, they'll do that with their video streaming service or whatever. Crunchyroll, of course. I don't know if it comes on anything other than Crunchyroll, though. Streaming, let's see. Hulu, YouTube TV, Apple TV, you can buy it. Yeah, it seems like Hulu might have it. Netflix, let's see what comes up when... No. I click on it, and it doesn't take me to anything showing me that it's on Netflix, so I guess not. But yeah, the character-wise, though, it seems like they have some really cool designs and different powers and stuff. So I could definitely see that being a cool version of Fighter Z. I saw a lot of people on Twitter being angry that it wasn't like Naruto or One Piece or other older established animes.
I want Naruto. I want not Naruto.
Yeah.
Because I have watched it recently, and and I can see those characters. I can see like those characters in a fighting game definitely will be awesome. And there's so many characters to that. I mean, I'm sure there's so many characters to Academia too, but just that those have a history right now, more than Academia does.
Yeah.
So I see why people will be upset with that. Those games not happening. But another popular anime is out now is what, Demon Slayer?
Yeah.
That's like the real popular one.
Yeah, that's huge
right
right
now.
now.
But I don't know the character list for that.
Me neither.
The type of show like that. And it's fairly young too. It's fairly young. I mean, but it's not. It's definitely way younger because it's than Academia.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I would want those only because of bias reasons because I have watched those recently.
Right.
But I mean, it might be all right with My Hero Academia.
Yeah. I mean, I think anything coming out of Arc Systems is going to be at the very least very cool looking. You know, the way they have the ability to blend 2D and 3D animation together is awesome. You know, like I said earlier, I'd love to see them do like a Darkstalkers in that form or fashion. That'd be pretty cool. So yeah. And then another rumor I saw that allegedly this is more of a leak, and I saw Jason Schreier basically say, yes, this game is happening. So it sounds like it may be something we see later in this week, but from 2K, Firaxis, the guys behind XCOM and Civ, they're working on a Marvel XCOM game, so a tactical kind of thing, but with Marvel characters. That sounds pretty cool to me. I'm here for it. Cool. I probably got to play some more XCOM at some point, though, Dominic. I know you got me the one, and I never even really touched that one. I was joking with you about Declassified, the third-person shooter one, but that was just terrible, so I don't need to go revisit that. But yeah, I'm all here for it. Like, especially after having so many years of nothing being done with the StarCraft, the Star Wars license at EA, like, you know, let's get some different developers working on different movie property games here, especially like these big universes or even comic books. Like, this doesn't need to be a movie related thing. If they do comic books, that would actually be probably even better because you just have such a plethora of characters to pull from. So yeah, I would love to hear more about that. So hopefully we'll see something from either E3 or Summer Games Fest. And then the last one I saw, Dominic, this sounds like it's another kind of leak. It was posted to Microsoft's store, so it's all but guaranteed. There were screenshots and everything. 2 Point Campus, a sequel to 2 Point Hospital, basically moving from the hospital setting to a college. So that sounds pretty cool. I know you were into that game.
That's really interesting. A college game. I wonder what you do, and plus they always do things very jokingly, so I'm definitely want to see some of the funny things they do in that game. Because 2 Point Hospital was really great, and it got really addictive. Yeah. Because I always get addicted. Like, a lot of those type of games can grab me, so I'm like, oh man, I'm just playing it all the time because I just like building stuff and managing it. Because 2 Point Hospital, it was a fun game that I kind of want to go back to, but then I don't because it's just time consuming. But I definitely wouldn't mind trying 2 Point Campus, and I hope it's on the Game Pass, so just like 2 Point Hospital was, so I can just try it out. But yeah, I'd never imagine like a campus, like, because I don't think it's never been like a simulation like that, right?
Yeah, not that I could think of. I mean, outside of like a Sims
almost it's the Sims
thing.
But like you can go into college or something. But nah, like just to manage a campus in that. Yeah, I wonder how you manage tuition. I wonder how to do that, like tuition.
I'm gonna raise it so all
things of nature.
You guys can't come here.
And
anymore.
Then like frat houses and things of that nature and stuff like that.
Now we're talking.
I wonder how you do that. And will they have it like with the sports, like entertainment, like people going to the games and that.
Make sure our athletes don't get paid, Dominic. That's what I want to That's what I want to do. I'll set it up so they don't get paid.
Or don't get caught. Don't get caught paying them.
There you go.
Like, has somebody looking out for, like, the freaking NCAA officials coming. It's like, oh, no.
Oh, the coach bought him a Jeep. Uh-oh, here they come. All right,
so, no, you got them hookers.
In some other news upcoming this week, we've got, actually, news that was announced already. We got Crysis 2 and 3 are coming as a remaster package in addition to the already released Crysis Remaster as a trilogy coming out this fall.
Yay!
So the best Crysis game 2 is coming as well as 3. And it sounds like initially you'll be getting them as a package, but you can also get them separately as 2 and 3 if you already own the first one.
What about the expansion or
the Warhead one for the first game?
Warhead one, yeah.
You know what? I don't know if that was included with the Crysis remaster or not. Because I feel like when we were talking about that, there was a lot of talk of like, hey, is there going to be a Crysis remaster Warhead thing? They did say that multiplayer would not be happening. Oh,
well, that's fine with me.
Crysis remastered Warhead. Crytek shoots down DLC rumors. That was from April of last year. But
okay.
Yeah, that's it makes you wonder why they aren't going to be doing anything with that. Because it very easily they should have just lumped that in with the original remaster, right? Like that's one of those things where it's like, hey, here's all the DLC also, even though it was kind of weirdly its own like expansion thing that was, because it was standalone, wasn't it? Or at least
it was standalone, yeah.
So maybe they're just, I don't know. Once they need some goodwill, they'll be like, also we've got Warzone.
Maybe it's not part of the like Crysis official story. Yeah. Like it's like Crysis Legends, like they do with Star Wars Legends.
Did they take it out of canon like Disney?
Yeah.
How dare they? Yeah. So, yeah, those games are coming. Hopefully they'll look pretty good. I really like Crysis 2 a lot. That game was cool. That was when they started to give you like more options. Like, do you want to go in stealthy? Do you want to go in all action type thing? So, yeah. Some other news coming out this week, Dominic. There was a lot of news out of Sony. I think there was an interview and then kind of stuff roped out from that. The first thing up, Sony Bend, the developers behind Days Gone. We had talked a couple of months ago now, I want to say, that they had kind of pitched the idea of doing a Days Gone 2. They wanted to continue that story, but apparently that was not well received. But they are going to be working on a new game, and it's going to be a brand new IP, allegedly. So that's good. I mean, technically, Days Gone was new IP, so...
Yeah. So you get to try again.
Yeah. Restart.
So, yeah. You know what? Maybe it's okay that I mean, I know we always want sequels from our great games, but I guess that game is kind of made in a way it could be a sequel to it too. But I haven't played it. Like, because I don't know if, like, Last of Us, I don't think it was like a ton of people asking for Last of Us 2 because the way the story was built. But you got a sequel and that turned out to be good. So, I mean, that's cool. But I mean, I'm kind of happy too that we're getting something new.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, just something new. You know, something I didn't hear about before.
Especially because all the news before this was that Sony is kind of playing it safe and doing a whole bunch of sequels.
Because Naughty Dog, like Naughty Dog, I don't know when I'm going to get a new thing from them.
Right. Yeah, so I'm absolutely happy that they're doing a new thing, and hopefully if this new thing turns out for them and they still want to make a Days Gone sequel and they want to make it and it's not, Sony telling them, hey, make this as a cash grab kind of thing, maybe then they get to make it because they've shown that, they can create a successful thing and go from there. So yeah, hopefully they get a little more support after that. Another thing, a bit of news from Sony here, Dominic. Gran Turismo 7 is going to be on the PS4 in addition to the PS5. So here we are starting to see that Sony's continuing this trend that they're doing with Horizon Zero Dawn and Spider-Man, of course. initially saying, hey, we believe in generations. That thing that Microsoft's doing over there, that's lame. We want to build games that are optimized for our next generation console and take advantage. And then here we are.
They're really running that back.
Yeah. And, in some cases, like you and I, we don't have PlayStation 5s. That's good as long as these games run, well enough to be playable.
You might as well go to the next news because I want to say something about all this.
Okay, yeah. And along with that, kind of the bigger one out of these is that the God of War codename Ragnarok is also going to be coming to the PS4, but will not, as initially believed or teased, I believe, last year, right, that it was going to be coming this year, is now going to be delayed into 2020.
All right, so that's nobody's really surprised about the delay.
2022. Sorry.
2022. Yeah, because I heard of multiple podcasts, people were like, yeah, they're not surprised. Who's surprised? Even regular people in comments saying, yeah, because you got Horizon Zero Dawn coming out. You really going to have God of War 2 come out this year? I mean, it was a possibility, but it was you know how things get delayed. It's that has to be the one that get delayed. But being on PS4, that is a little surprising or disappointing for some people because they saying look, I got this high power console and you're not taking full advantage of it because this game can be played on the last gen console. And this is what I have to say about that. Now, in the past, you didn't really see this a lot. Because you went to a new console, they had their own games. Now you might get the third parties that try to do both, but the first party usually just a new console, or even further back, you didn't do both, or if you do both, it'll be a totally different game on the other one because the architect was different.
Right.
You had a Super Nintendo and Nintendo. You had a Sega Genesis and a Sega Saturn.
Yeah, you were talking
a PlayStation
versus
and a
16-bit here.
Yeah, a PlayStation and a PlayStation 2. The two buttons were totally different. You didn't have games that look exactly the same as the other one, or they just didn't come on. They were just on the previous console, or they were just on the new next-gen console. So when you start getting to the Xbox 360, PS3, to the PS4 and Xbox One, you got games that they look similar. The third-party ones did. They look similar. But but you can see there's a difference. But that was really just the cash grab thing for they wanted to get that money for that new console, those third-party companies. So it definitely didn't really take full advantage of the hardware. It looks better, but it didn't take full advantage of it. While the first-party games did. But I'd say that they didn't really take full advantage of the new consoles, I don't believe. I believe, some games might have. But the look of the games weren't exactly great. Because, the games always look better as the console generation goes on because people are more familiar with it.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking okay, this is say God of War be exclusive to PS5. If it was exclusive to PS5, I just feel it still wouldn't look as good as it possibly could because it's the early PS5 game that the advantages that it even takes care of still probably not going to be as great as it possibly could. I still think at this point in the life cycle, you're not holding back too much. I just feel you're just closing off the PS4 just so you get people to buy PS5s. That's it. It's not because it couldn't be played on PS4. It's just that you were just not letting it be there for people who can go to PS5. Yeah. And plus the architect is so similar to these consoles that I think if the architect was similar, if years ago, some reason, it was a possibility to play 16-bit Nintendo, 8-bit Nintendo games on 16-bit Nintendo. You could play both games on the Super Nintendo. They probably would have done that.
Yeah. Just look at the Game Boy. You
to buy it.
You have, the backwards compatibility through what, like 4 generations of that system.
Yeah, and then look at like the Wii. Like you had the Zelda. You could play the GameCube. You had the 2 Zeldas. They were 2 different, but then you could play your GameCube games on the Wii. And then the Wii U with the Wii and now the Switch you can't do that, but now they just make you buy it all. Yeah. But thing is that I think it's just that you couldn't do that then. It was always harder to do. So now it's to a point where the architect is so similar that I can still put this game out on these systems. So I can see how people say it's hurting, but I don't think it's. You're getting the best game still. If you have a PS5, you're still getting the best game. You're still getting because you're gonna get the faster loading times. Your game's gonna look better than what I play it as.
Right.
So it's not. I don't think it's hurting as much. I understand it, but I also feel like if they were to say like, okay, we're gonna just focus on the PS5. I don't know how much better it will look now, like compared to years from now. Like I feel like it wasn't going to look that much better at this point in time because they're still not as familiar with the system because it's one of the early ones. Like it'll look so much better later on, but they're not. I feel like you're not going to be losing. I don't think you're losing out on much. Like people feel like they're losing out because they feel like they're not putting too much work into hardware. But I feel like, well, if they really wanted to put a lot, I think the game will come out years later. I think it would have come out years later from now and then. Yeah. To really take full advantage. Like the first ones never do. They never really look the best. They look good. They look like better than last gen, but they never look like when you see later games that come out later, you say, "Oh, this looks really good," because they got more familiar with it. They had a longer time with it. So I feel like it's okay. Like I don't think this is hurting the PS5 much. You're still because you're going to get sale. It helps Sony because it still gets sales because now everybody can get a PS5 right now. Yeah. So that helps with them with the sales. And I still think people who do have a PS5, you're still getting the best game, man. Like I don't think it's hurting you as much as you think it is. Like it's hurting the game. Like you feel like you're losing out. Yeah. Because of this.
It seems like very much a console mentality because this idea would be like the equivalent because the architectures are so similar now. You're basically saying, oh, I don't want PC game makers to make a game with a 970 in mind because I've got a 3080 and my game's going to look worse for it. No, they're still making it as high as possible and then stepping it back theoretically. I mean, it depends on how dedicated they are to this idea, actually, because we could very well see a God of War game that runs like absolute trash on your and my base PlayStation 4s, and then a PlayStation 4 Pro, it might run it decently enough, and then a PS5, it obviously looks the way it's intended to be played. We don't know that yet. I think that's the most interesting aspect of it to me, is that we're now talking about a game that's launching probably around a year and a half, 2 years after one of these new consoles has launched that may still be cross-platform. Like Horizon makes sense to me. Spider-Man absolutely made sense to me.
Well, Horizon, from what I saw on a podcast, is that there was a Game Informer article. I didn't see it, but they said a Game Informer spoke with them. They said they were working on the PS4 one. Mm-hmm. This was built up on the PS4. Gotcha. And then coming to PS5.
Improved for the PS5. I gotcha.
Yeah, exactly.
So that makes sense. And now I can see why people would be angry about that statement, right? Is like, oh, but the base idea there, right, is that they were going to make a PS4 game originally anyway. And it just so happened that the PS5 came along, right? And they want to make it available in there. Because, you know, in a different world, maybe that game would have launched last year as like the PS4's last hurrah almost like a Ghost of Tsushima kind of thing.
They didn't give a date. Mm-hmm. Maybe they had a date just not told, you know?
Yeah.
But they probably go. Maybe they wanted to get it ahead of the PS5. Maybe the plan was that. Who knows? I don't know. Or at least the same time, like the PS5 came out and then work on it. But maybe things happen, you know?
Yeah.
But the God of War, I have no idea. Like God of War, I don't know. Is that the same situation or not? Was they already just working on it for the PS4 and they just give PS5? Or were they working on PS5 and now they just downgrade?
Yeah.
I don't know.
How much of your team is dedicated to making that PS4 version of the game?
Yeah. So that's why I'm okay with Horizon. I think it's going to be fine because that's like, that was made for the PS4.
Yeah.
And God of War, I'm honestly going to think it's fine too because I think they're not going to let that shit fly being awful.
Oh, 100%.
It's a first-person party game. Like, people, they keep talking about Cyberpunk, but I was like, tell me somebody else.
Yeah.
Tell me another what was the other Cyberpunk that happened? Because right now, it's looking like that's the only company that really just fucked up.
Yeah.
So you can't use, if they're the only ones, if that's your only example, then it's not, then that's isolated
that's an
incident.
Outlier, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, it's going to be amazing, Dominic, when that's revealed as the PlayStation Plus game for the month that it returns to the eShop. It's going to be a triumphant return once they get their shit straightened out.
You said the eShop.
Yes, it's the eShop. Yep. As it turns out, Dominic, Sony's going to get in bed with Nintendo. This is all happening this week at E3. We thought they were going to get Game Pass, but instead they're getting PlayStation, whatever that shit's called. PlayStation Now. Yeah, I don't know. I think another thing with the way that the architecture is, like, I think because they've been using that same architecture now and building things for the PlayStation 4 or the Xbox One, they're going to have an easier transition to these next-gen consoles. So you're not going to see that they're not getting taken advantage, like these new consoles aren't getting taken advantage of as quickly as you would in previous generations. Like, I think games are going to look better quicker on those systems. But I don't think it's going to be negatively affected by them having a previous gen version. I think we're moving into the space where these consoles are basically PCs and you have different tiers of quality based on whichever system you have, you know, and at a certain point they'll get phased out because, you know, these games have improved to a point where they can't anymore. But right now, that obviously just can't be the case because people can't get their hands on a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox One.
Yeah.
So Sony has clearly recognized that and adjusted accordingly. You know, I don't know if these games were originally going to be PS4 games, or at least, you know, God of War, I should say, because it still feels so far out, even though it's probably within the year or so. But it's just so impossible and seemingly not really getting any easier. So they're just kind of hedging their bets and saying, hey, we'll put another, you know, 20% of the money it costs, 20% budget into this, and you guys can make a PS4 version of this, and we'll cover all our bases, basically, right? Yeah. Yeah, well, we'll see. Maybe we'll get more information from a Sony Direct at some point soon, but it feels like they'd be shooting themselves in the foot to be talking too much about God of War before Horizon Zero Dawn comes out. I'm not saying they won't show anything, but just, you know, you don't want to overshadow that game too much. That's obviously now this year's big game, so you want to put as much spotlight on that as you can. All right, Dominic, so as I mentioned earlier, this is the week leading into Summer Games Fest and E3, and along with that, we've also got the date for the Battlefield reveal, which will be the 9th. So right before everything else kicks off, we're also going to get information from EA about the next Battlefield game.
Okay, because we talked about like what I would probably want, and I didn't know what to say.
Yeah,
so.
different scenarios, and it based on just like the teaser image, it just seems like maybe modern day kind of combat stuff.
Oh, that's what it looked like. Okay.
I mean, so it's just based off of, I think there's like one shot of like a dude running towards the screen, and it has the same kind of like bluish orange vibes that Battlefield games have.
They should go further back.
Talking like Civil War,
like go like the Civil War or the Revolutionary War.
Yeah, but those guns aren't fun to shoot, Dominic. You got to shoot one pellet, and then you gotta pack it down.
You gotta take chances, Daniel. You gotta take chances.
I mean, if you threw maybe like an active reload mechanic in there.
Go to like the Crusades.
I mean, if we're talking like melee combat, sure. Just, switch it up entirely. Melee combat
and archers. You have archers, and then you have the rock throwers.
Oh, like catapults.
Catapults. Yeah. Catapults. God damn. The catapults.
Or trebuchets for the fancy people that like the other kind of catapult. Yeah. I think like a castle siege game, that would be pretty cool. Like you have one team that's like protected. I mean, that would kind of fit the Battlefield, like moving along the battlefield kind of thing, right? So you have like your field battle, and then as you get further along, then you get to the castle walls, and then once you've gotten to the castle walls, then you're fighting like the last line of people. That would be really cool. I don't know if you call it it's still a Battlefield, so I don't know what they want to call that.
If they kill the king, basically.
Yeah.
That's it.
Capture the flag king.
It's basically like a chess, but with the real pieces.
Yeah.
And more of them.
Or we just Battlefield chess. Now we're talking. Yeah, that would be cool. I would like to see. I know there are like games kind of like that. Like I guess Chivalry is maybe medievally melee combat stuff, but it'd be cool to see one of these big.
I want something like very arcadey.
Yeah,
that's not. Yeah. I don't want to see somebody like blocking me with a damn shield all the time or something.
I've got to wind up like 7 times before I can swing my sword properly, and it's got to come in at the right angle. Yeah, I could see that. All right, Dominic. So we're going to do a quick rundown here, talking about E3 and Summerfest, just of what we've got confirmed as far as shows and showcases and companies. And as I go down the list, if there's anybody that you go, hey, what games are they going to have? What do you want to see out of them? Just ring my bell here. Okay. So obviously, you just talked about Battlefield on June 9th. June 10th will be the official jump off of Summer Game Fest. So we'll get a kickoff show then at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Jeff Keighley, I'm sure, bringing you world exclusives, but I don't know who he would get, because it almost feels like everybody is having their own show. Hey,
his husband.
God damn it. Yep. That's the answer, Dominic. Fucking Hideo Kojima. We're going to get Death Stranding too. Yeah. So we got that. After that, we're going to get on June 11th, Koch Media, who is the parent company of Deep Silver. But they have actually already, Deep Silver has come out and said, this isn't our thing, it's their thing. So you're not going to see Saints Row, you're not going to see Dead Island, you're not going to see Metro, and you're not going to see Time Splitters. So, new IP, I guess? I don't know what that means.
Yeah, maybe new IP, yeah. But darn, that sucks. I did want to see some Dead Island.
You would hope.
And Time Splitters.
Yeah.
The other games, Metro, I had Metro 3. We had a third one.
That's been out recently.
A few years ago.
And Saints Row, I feel like they almost need to do something new with that before they come back with that.
Me too. I'm not really big on another Saints Row.
Yeah.
I guess maybe something in a universe, but which they did try to do, and that game was better than what I thought. That was better than I thought. It should have been multiplayer.
Yeah.
It should have been multiplayer.
Absolutely. Agents of Mayhem.
Yeah. But I don't know. But yeah, hopefully it's a new IP that's never don't know about, and they do something with.
Yeah. All right, after that, we got June 12th. We've got Ubisoft at 3 p.m.
We're going to get some Beyond Good and Evil news here.
Yes, you'll get Beyond Good and Evil. You're just not getting Beyond Good and Evil 2. They're going to do a remaster of the original game that's going to come out before that second one.
A remaster of the remaster.
Yep.
I want to know what the hell is that game, because I still don't know what I don't know what it is.
Nobody knows what it is. It's an open world monkey jetpack game. Are you still
working with Gordon Levitt? Is he still?
Yes, he's still outsourcing work from the community or something.
What the hell's going on with that?
Yeah, that game's got such a weird development situation. And then you had Wild also from Michel Ancel, which we haven't heard anything about again.
He's gone, right? Is Michel Ancel?
Yeah,
gone,
I think
right?
he's like running a zoo or whatever that shit was now, like a nature preserve
good
or something.
Are we going to get a new Rayman game? I know we're getting Just Dance.
Yeah, you can't stop Just Dance. Rayman, I am ready for them to explore Rayman in 3D again. Like those 2D ones on that art platform or whatever it was called that they did for the graphics. Those were incredible, but I'd really like to see what they could do venturing out of that side-scrolling kind of box.
Let's see. They probably do the Assassin's Creed Valhalla expansion, maybe.
Anything for Watch Dogs? I didn't talk about it, but I guess there's like a zombie mode that's in Watch Dogs 2 now.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Or Watch Dogs 3.
Yeah. They probably talk some more about the mobile.
Yeah.
Not the mobile. I mean, the free-to-play. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. In addition to that, I wouldn't be surprised if they did mobile, because like last year they did that mobile game, right, where it was like or was that 2 years ago? I don't even remember what happened during quote-unquote E3 Summer Games Fest last year, but like the phone game that had Sam Fisher and stuff in it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, do you think there will be a...
Splinter Cell?
Splinter Cell, yeah.
I want to say yes, but I don't necessarily think there's going to be a Splinter Cell. I think we'll hear more about that Rainbow Six Quarantine or whatever, and we won't hear anything about a Splinter Cell.
Prince of Persia.
Yes, we'll hear about it. I'm not sure what they'll do. I mean, obviously we have that remaster that's supposed to be coming out at some point, but I don't know if they went back to the drawing board after hearing how poorly it was received, or if they just needed a couple more months to work on it and they can just say, oh, here's the release date for that. Yeah.
Mario Raven Rabbids 2.
I mean, if that's on the table, they'd be stupid not to be working on it, because it seemed like that game was pretty successful for them, and it was a fun game.
Will there be one?
Yeah. Get Miyamoto back out on... Well, I guess he'd probably be on videotape. You're not going to... I don't know. This is going to be like, outside of actual video game stuff, but do you think Nintendo would look at the current state of Ubisoft and their kind of recent turmoil, we'll call it, and go, we don't want to associate ourselves with them right now. Maybe once things cool down, but you're not going to have Shigeru Miyamoto walk out on stage with Yves Guillemot and, hold his hand up high or whatever when there's still people out there talking about Ubisoft allegations.
Probably not, but I don't know about just not working with them, though.
Yeah.
And I feel like somebody would have said something.
Yeah, I just don't know that, I don't know that Nintendo's going to take like that moral stand if there's money involved.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily expect them to. It's just a thought in my head. I wonder if that would affect anything. All right, Dominic, after that, we got Devolver Digital. They teased that they're going to have a conference on June 12th. Those are always a spectacle, and we always see awesome indie games come out of there, so that's exciting. I never know what to expect from them, though, because it's always just like indie games, and I wouldn't,
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not going to be like, oh, are they going to show off Carrion 2 or whatever? So that should be cool. And then Gearbox apparently is having a thing on June 12th as well. So,
oh man,
so
Randy, Randy Pitchfork is going to...
He's going to do some magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awkward magic tricks.
I would say
That's
some DLC stuff for Borderlands and maybe talk of the movie or something like that.
Don't talk of the movie.
I mean, we don't want that, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's what they're doing there. Get some cross promotion in there.
I'm trying to think what else Gearbox could do. What else do they do? Do they own that license? Or did they just work on it? Bring back Battleborn 2. We're going to compete against Overwatch 2.
Yep. Yeah. This time they're going to win.
Yeah.
I don't think they want to risk that again.
I was for it, Daniel.
I know you were heavily behind. Let the record show, Dominic, that you were heavily invested into Battleborn over.
Game, but I was rooting for him.
Emotionally invested, that is.
Yeah.
All right, Dominic. After that, on June 13th, we've got Microsoft and Bethesda, of course, hoping for some bangers out of that. Some Halo, some Starfield even. Anything else you're looking for out of them?
Some Gears.
You're ready for some more Gears already, huh?
Yeah, I want the story to end. I was waiting for that story to end.
Yeah.
That's why.
Okay.
I want an ending before I have to go from this planet.
I gotcha.
But, yeah, I'm going to the moon. I'm going to spend some time up there. What else? The Forza. I want some Forza news. I wanted to know next Forza Horizon, really. That's what I want. Even though it's, the next one is Forza.
It feels like Forza's the next one, right?
Yeah, but I don't. Fuck it. Just skip it and just go to.
Stop making those Horizon games and just make the really cool ones, please.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or give me another good damn expansion, which I should just go ahead and buy the Lego one. Next time it's on sale, I'll get it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm looking forward to Wet 2, Dominic. That's what I want. Been waiting for that from Bethesda forever now.
Oh, Wet 2. Yeah.
All right. Bethesda. Do you think they would show off a Deathloop at a Microsoft/Bethesda conference? Or are they going to be like, that's on PlayStation, fuck them?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
Here's this game that you'll get 12 months after this release date that we're showing you. They advertise it on their stage as like, this is coming out in February 2023. And then release a press release like on PlayStation in February 2022.
I think they probably announced something new for their Elder Scrolls Online, because that seems to be doing pretty well.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
And they might even announce something new for Fallout West Virginia.
76, yeah.
Yeah, and because apparently that's doing well now too. I mean it was doing a lot better, than.
Yeah, people are more satisfied with it now.
But you know what? Hey, people, even when people were saying it would suck, people were still playing the shit out of it.
Yeah, because they were being paid to stream it, Dominic. That's why.
That's probably what it was, Daniel. That's probably what it was.
Yeah.
All the games you said, that's really what I want to see, unless they're doing something original, which I doubt I'll see something original.
Yeah.
From them. Are we any more Doom content?
Ooh,
or Wolfenstein? You think they could Wolfenstein or something?
You definitely see more Doom content, because I feel like they came out with that for what they were calling the first DLC for Doom, but I don't know that there's been word of the second or anything like that. So you definitely see something coming of that. And Wolfenstein, I'm not sure if it's quite time for them to be doing that yet.
Yeah.
All right. After that, Dominic, we got the PC gaming show. We're not sure what time that's going to be quite yet, but it's supposed to be on June 13th.
Yep, the show that apparently people hate, but that I respect. I respect that show.
I respect them sitting down with developers and having conversations.
Yeah, I'm like, Jesus Christ, people. I mean, these people are trying to be a little professional and shit, and y'all just like,
we don't want this. Horrible. We want the spectacle. Fuck that. Yeah. Well, with them, it's, kind of a crapshoot. It could be anybody, so it's hard to predict what they're going to show off there. All right.
It's going to be Half-Life, I believe. Half-Life 3.
Absolutely. After that, we got Square Enix. They're supposed to be announcing a new Eidos Montreal title. Their last title, of course, being the Shadow of the Tomb Raider game.
Someone on the Unlock podcast, I got a shout out to him. I don't know the name, but he pulled up like he wants to see them release Soul Weaver or the Legacy of Kain. He said, please, because he put his games up. He was in his home. He said, please, just get somebody. Give it. If you're not going to do anything with it, just give it to somebody else. Give the name so they can work on it because it's so great. And Amy Henning did the story and everything for it. I was like, I said we talked about that too because I just missed out on it, and I just want to at least play a remake. Like I wish somebody would remake it.
Yeah. I would love to see a remake or. Depending on the level of remaster for it, like even if it was just like here's a Switch version remastered with good camera controls, because a game from that generation I'd be worried about third-person camera controls.
Oh yeah,
because I never really got to experience those games, so I'd love to try them out. And I was just gonna say, and then also Babylon Falls, which I'd completely forgotten about, but that's a new Platinum game. That's kind of sci-fi mixed with medieval. It almost reminds me of that one that launched Godfall, which kind of fell on its face.
Yeah. That's a Square Enix game?
Yeah, they're publishing it for Platinum.
Oh, okay. Yeah, for Platinum, yeah. Okay. What do I want to see? So they probably, I know they're going to probably show some more Marvel Avengers. I mean, shit, they should. I mean, should be still behind it. I mean, Spider-Man hasn't even come out yet.
God, I mean, maybe that's one of their big things is here's Spider-Man. They'd have to show off more of Wakanda because they announced that. Right?
Like you said, this should be like a lawsuit because, like, look, I bought this game on PlayStation because I thought I was going to get Spider-Man. It's going to be almost a year.
Yeah.
And I got this guy on this game yet.
It's really crazy.
What else do I want from Square Enix? I want them to show tell me when Final Fantasy Remake 2 comes out. or what is it even called like remake anymore? I don't know.
I don't think you're quite getting that. I want more Kingdom Hearts, Dominic. Give me more Kingdom Hearts.
No.
Fine.
What other game? Oh, yeah. Show some Dragon Quest. What are we at? 12?
Yeah, whatever that one is now. Yeah, the dark
I think it's 12.
broody
Yeah,
one.
because it's 11, 12, yeah.
Yeah.
I know people want 10 to come to the U.S., but that's the online one, but I don't really care because I'm not going to play that one anyway.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything I hope it's a good surprise.
I want to see if they do that the action style Dark Souls Final Fantasy game that we had talked about, I think last week or the week before. Yeah. See if they have anything to announce there.
Was it Final Fantasy or was it Dragon Quest?
It was Final Fantasy.
It was the first Final Fantasy. That's what it was.
Yeah, it was. Based in the Final Fantasy
you're right,
one world. Yeah. All right, Dominic. Then after their show, well, I don't know about after their show.
Wait a minute. We didn't talk about Eidos. What about either a Tomb Raider or a Deus Ex?
That's a good question. I don't know. I don't need a new Tomb Raider right now because I'm still like two games behind.
I just want a new game, honestly.
Yeah.
I just want something new.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Give me some new IP. I trust those guys. They make good games, so give me something I'm not expecting. I think that's what I want out of everybody, basically. Just give me something I'm not expecting. Because outside of, like you said, Legacy of Kain or something like that, that's the only way I wouldn't want them to go in the new direction. So, all right, Dominic, we got Warner Brothers Games There's a ton of things I would like to see from them. Basically anything, whatever NetherRealm. is doing.
They're just an independent company. Like when they're officially not going to be part of Warner Brothers. When they officially,
I don't know if that's going anywhere. I mean, technically, if that merger goes forward, it would then be up to who was the company buying them? Time Warner or something like that, or It was AT&T. It would be up to them to, decide whether they're actually going to get rid of them or not.
Okay, so right now they're good.
Yeah,
right.
Right now they're still kind of just doing their thing, but. Yeah, I'm wondering what NetherRealms is working on. I'm wondering what's going on with the Batman game. Wondering what's going on with the Suicide Squad game. Give me Rocksteady.
Yeah.
Get them up there. Show me what you're working with. So,
is it going to be wasn't it supposed to be a Lord of the Rings game with like Golem? That got canceled?
Oh, that's a good question. Because, didn't they announce... Was Amazon supposed to be working on a game in addition to the show that they're working on? I can't remember now. Lord of the Rings.
What was the Golem show?
Game. No, but the Golem thing I don't remember, to be honest with you. Every single... hate these fucking list sites, Dominic. You can never get what you want. See what Middle Earth in games.
Oh, it's still coming out. The Lord of the Rings Golem. It says
okay.
2022.
2022. Okay. And do you know the developer on that? Who's working on that?
You know what? That developer, I don't know I'm looking for the publisher to make sure it's still WB. It should be Warner Brothers. Yeah, it's just Lord of the Rings. Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's not. It just has a developer I don't even recognize.
Okay.
They're the publisher too, so never mind. That's
How did I just completely wipe that out of my mind?
What?
This Golem game.
Oh, okay.
Anyway.
I think other WB games. Lego?
Yeah, I was gonna say, is there gonna be they've still got the one Lego game they're coming out with, right?
The Star Wars one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the big I can finally see that one. Well, hopefully they show that one off. They should.
Yeah, that was a game that was supposed to be released by now, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll see some stuff out of them for that one.
I'm trying to think another franchise Lego could do. Lego Minecraft.
Now you're just like snake eating its tail situation, right?
I think what other franchises out there do what the kids messing with now?
What are the kids messing?
I can't think. They've done everything.
Lego Twitch streamers and YouTube influencers. You're gonna play as Ninja and
They need to just do like a Lego Mario.
I mean, it's already a thing in real life, so why not bring it into video games? I feel like, I don't know that Nintendo... Well, I mean, Nintendo's let other people play with Mario, as we talked about Mario and Rabbids, but I wonder if they would let them do a platformer, because you don't just make a Lego game. Well, I guess those are platformers in a way. They're just kind of a little bit looser in the sense, because they're like a mix of puzzle and platforming games. Just don't know that Nintendo would be like...
It should be like or like this. The star is like Waluigi or something.
I mean, that would sell some people on it, I'm sure. Finally, Waluigi getting his due. When does that happen, Dominic? When does Waluigi get his due? We got Wario games, we got Peach games, we got Toad games.
Wario's... Oh, you know what? The Nintendo should do this. If Wario is missing, then Waluigi looking for him.
You know what? I'm here for it, Dominic. Just tell me where to go. I'll plop my money down.
All right, what else we got, Dan?
All right. On the 14th of June, we've got Take-Two Interactive. So that's 2K, Rockstar. Although I'd be a little bit surprised to see a Rockstar thing. This is where I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't already see it at like the PC gaming show. wouldn't be surprised if this is where we saw the Marvel XCOM game, because their Firaxis is under the 2K publishing brand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it too soon to potentially see a BioShock thing?
Too soon? No.
Well, I say that just because, like, ever since we found out that it's been a thing, it's been like pandemic times, and I'm not sure how much work could actually be done on that.
Or maybe they have some clips or something, like some pics they can show us. I have no idea. I just think, what can they show us? Hopefully something new. Probably some basketball, and show how much better that looks on the new consoles.
Much more sweat.
Yeah.
Kerbal. I forgot that they own Kerbal now, so Kerbal Space Program 2 is a thing that's in the works. Wouldn't be surprised to see that either here or at the PC game show.
Maybe something for Civ.
Yeah. Nothing from Rockstar, though, right? We're not getting... honestly, I could see them finally giving like dates on Grand Theft Auto for the new consoles. Maybe not as a big, huge thing, but as a, hey, as part of Take-Two, Rockstar is here.
Probably just with the release of the Grand Theft Auto 5 for the new consoles.
Yeah. That's what I meant to say.
Hold on, but they
something like that.
Because did they have a release date already?
No, I don't.
No, yeah,
I don't think so. I think they just said they were coming out later this year, right?
Later this year. Then they have a date. Yeah. I mean, I just basically almost all these companies. I just want something new, like I never heard of. Or the things I did hear about, like just give more information on. Yeah. But like Take-Two really is something new. I can't think of like a franchise that they have that. Yeah, I can't think of anything.
Yeah, and that's the same with the next one up, Capcom. Like they've released all these other games. Let me see something new.
I guess Street Fighter 6 then, man. That's shit. Street Fighter 6.
It's not new enough for me, Dominic. I mean, if they are doing the Resident Evil 4 thing, I'd like to see what is actually happening with that.
Oh yeah.
How are you going to ruin that
Resident
perfect
Evil
game?
4 remake. Also a Mega Man game. Another. Now we're doing another one.
I wouldn't be against that.
That one disappeared really fast.
It did. You saying that made me realize, oh yeah, that was a thing that happened and was not really.
What was that, Mega Man 11?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was just really disappeared. I want a Mega Man X.
Exactly. Yep. Give me Mega Man X or a Zero game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give me something like that.
What else from Capcom? You got a lot of things from Capcom. I know people want Monster Hunter, something from Monster Hunter, but I mean that's not a big deal for me. But yeah, Capcom. I feel like I'm missing something. I can't think of it. Maybe.
I know what I want from Capcom. I want a Dino Crisis.
Oh, yeah.
I don't expect it at all, but I want a Dino Crisis. All right, Dominic, after that, we got Razer, which I don't know that we really have much to talk about because I don't expect to see any games from them.
Good peripherals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to see a cool gaming mouse and a cool pair of headsets or something. Yeah. All right. Then we got the big one, Dominic. Well, I'm going to say the big one, but we don't know what they've got. But Nintendo will be on June 15th. That's kind of the last day that we've got scheduled here. So what do you think? Are we going to see Switch Pro here? Are we going to see Super
I think
Switch?
So. I mean, I'll be surprised if we don't. If we don't, I'm like, man, I don't know when we're going to see it. Yeah. I mean... I don't think it's coming out this year.
They're going to be like super petty and just like 2 weeks after they're like, we've got a Nintendo Direct and here's the Nintendo Switch.
I'm saying if I don't see the Switch Pro at E3, I'm going to say it doesn't come out this year.
Mm-hmm. Now, if it does come out this year, do you feel like it's got to launch alongside a big title? And What would that title be? Are we talking Breath of the Wild 2? Is that a possibility?
I think that's a possibility because they didn't say it's coming out next year, right? Breath of the Wild 2?
I don't think so. I don't think they've said one way or the other when it's coming out at all. We've just saw
the only one we know next year was Splatoon 3.
Yeah. God, and that's already coming up.
I hope they talk about Bayonetta 3 because it's been a while for that.
Yep, it very much has. I of course would like Metroid. There was some rumors going around that potentially there's a 2D Metroid in the works, whether it be a port of the 2 remake that came out on the 3DS right at the end of its life cycle, or a new one, much preferably. Wouldn't mind if both ended up being the case, but yeah.
I hope there's a N64 like emulation with their
Give me Mischief Makers,
service.
You cowards.
I hope they say they give Earthbound to us on the emulator.
That's what I was thinking just now. Like, one of the things I would like to see out of like a Square Enix thing would be like, and we're partnering with Nintendo so that you can finally play Super Mario RPG on the
and
Switch
Final Fantasy 3/6 and 4/2.
Exactly.
Bring all of them back. Chrono Cross will be up there.
Heck yeah, Chrono Trigger.
Not Chrono Cross, I'm sorry. Chrono Trigger.
Yeah.
And
fuck it, get PlayStation games on there too,
Yeah. But yeah, I want N64 emulator up there.
That'd be nice.
What else I want? I want
Game Boy games. I want Game Boy games on there.
Oh, yeah. That'd be great to do that. Jesus, yeah. Game Boy Advance games. Shit.
Yep. DS games. I've already sold them this idea. Why won't they take my idea, Dominic?
The sideways
DS situation. You can make it happen. It's perfect. People already do it with phones, I'm sure. Just let it be a thing.
What was the last Mario game we got? We got Mario 3D World.
Yeah.
So
before that was Odyssey.
Saying another big Mario game right now is not really a big deal. It needs to be like a something Zelda classic thing happening here. Probably Wind Waker be announced.
That's what I need. Like, fuck this Skyward Sword bullshit. Give me Wind Waker, please. You're releasing every other game that you released on the Wii U. Just give us that. It's
but then they got the Skyward Sword. I forgot. I forgot about the game on.
But that's out soon, I think, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. Maybe they can announce another
Zelda. That is.
Shit, man. They got so many. They just put out there. Fuck.
Yeah, July 16th. So that'll be out. In a month and a day from that press conference. So give us something else. It's the whatever anniversary of this game. Like, fucking do the thing, please. That's all I ask for, Dominic. The good Zelda game.
They're going to announce they're bringing back Mario All-Stars.
Hey, that thing that we told you was limited time so we would get you to buy it, it's back, and now it's got more content. You can buy additional content for $5. You sons of bitches. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there floating for them they're in that spot where it's like, okay, everybody has come before you. They've shown off their goods. Let's see if you can top them. And I'm hoping they've got something for me, Dominic.
Yeah. I can't think of anything else from Nintendo I want. But I mean, it's quite a bit. But yeah, I think we said it all.
Yep. New Donkey Kong also. Just throw that in there too. New Donkey Konga Jungle Beats. Use your Wii remotes, your Switch Joy-Cons as drum thing, so you don't have to buy a drum. All right, Dominic, so you got anything else news-wise or looking forward to for quote-unquote E3 or Summer Game Fest?
Oh, I hope they announce the Waluigi's and the Smash Brothers.
Do you think if we get to the end of this whole thing and they never put him in there, that it's just like the biggest fuck you to everybody, basically?
It is. And I think we need to go to war again.
Oh, man.
I think it's come to that, Daniel.
Oh, it's come to that? I
think that's what it is.
Man.
I think yes. I think they did that just to say, like, this is for what you did to us in World War II. And I said, okay, let's go to war again.
Oh,
again, La Luigi.
They're going to announce a Western developed Waluigi game because they hate him in Japan, but over here they love him for some reason. So they're going to hire BioWare to make a Waluigi RPG.
I don't even care about the dude. I don't think I ever played with him in anything. And it's just that them not doing it's caused me to like just want them.
Yes. It's the meminess of it all. Yeah. All right, Dominic, anything else before we get into new releases?
Nah, I'm good, man.
All right, we got Ghosts and Goblins Resurrection now finally releasing on the PC, PS4, and Xbox One after having been out on the Switch now. It's kind of been all over the place, to be honest with you. Game Informer, I think, gave it like a 9 out of 10 for the Switch version, but then like some of the other outlets I was listening to, like podcasts and stuff, were basically like shitting all over it. So I could see it being like a 7-8 range.
I'm confused here because, darn, I thought people were already complaining about it. Was it because of the look?
They were, yeah. That was part of it. I mean, this game has been out for the Switch, so they're complaining about that.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so this game's been out. Okay. Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah, it's just finally coming to everything else now. But yeah, it seems like it's probably a firmly like 7-8 game, depending on your feelings on hard, difficult games, because it sounds like it is still very much cheap and in that vein of the original game, which sounds, But as long as you give me the ability to lower difficulty, which I think I've seen in that game, like, it seems all right. Graphics don't bother me as much as I've seen from some other outlets. So, all right, Dominic, we also have Virtua Fighter 6 Ultimate Showdown for the PS4.
Is Virtua Fighter 6? I thought it was 5.
Was it 5?
Yeah.
Maybe I just wrote it down wrong.
And wait a minute, is it... Hold on, what's the free game?
That was 5, right?
Just normal 5.
Right.
Like with... So what's the difference?
More bullshit, Dominic. Always more bullshit. Let's see. It is Virtua Fighter 5. I don't know why I wrote 5.
Yeah, you would say. I was like, oh my god, this is Virtua Fighter 6? This should be a big deal.
It's not a big deal. It's just releasing. All right. Let's see. For those, so Showdown already. What? Why do they do this to me, Dominic? Why do they make it so complicated? Because they're saying for those that already have Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown already and would like to purchase the Legend. Okay, that's for the Legendary Pack.
Oh no, that's the free game.
Oh really? So it's the new version.
Virtua Fighter 5 is the free game.
So it's just the one with the Legendary Pack that's $29.99.
I guess so.
I wonder what you get out of the Legendary Pack then. Interesting. I did activate that. I need to download that and give it a try, because I heard somebody compare it to like Dead or Alive, like saying it was a little more like that gameplay wise. And I don't think I've ever really spent much time with a Virtua Fighter game.
You're gonna be disappointed.
Am I? I'm gonna be disappointed.
I don't know. I was just joking. I was thinking, like, is it really? I never noticed it be Dead or Alive, at least not when I played it on PlayStation 2.
I just wonder. I just like my flowier combat, like Soul Calibur's kind of like that too. It's not exactly the same, but it has that, like, I can get into a rhythm as opposed to like a Mortal Kombat or a Street Fighter, where it's more like I'm tapping out these what feel like different moves. Like I'm going to do this move into this move into this move, whereas DOA, it feels like I'm dot 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 bop bop, kind of just continuous strikes kind of thing. All right, Dominic, after that, we got Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts 2. And that's another one of those sniper games. It's not one of those sniper games, but it's a Ghost Warrior game. First-person tactical shooter. I don't know much about it outside of that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think I only played like one sniper game.
Yeah.
Or two of them. And I just tried them. Mm-hmm. I tried the demos just to see how it is.
Yeah. And then the one that I've been hearing a lot of talk about this week, Necromunda Hired Gun, is now on PC, PS4, Xbox.
Necromunda.
And PlayStation brands of consoles, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X. That is actually a Warhammer 40K game in that setting. It's a first-person shooter, and you're a bounty hunter. There really are. Between that and just Warhammer regular. But you're a bounty hunter, and it sounds like the levels can be played straight through, but then you can go back into them, and you'll have like specific goals in those levels that you need to do. You have a dog as a sidekick kind of thing that you can call. Okay. He's a mastiff, and he's got like cyber upgrades that you can do. It sounds pretty cool. It seems like the positive.
I mean, it looks okay.
It. Yeah, visually it looks nice too. Yeah, it gives me not quite a Doom vibe, but a little bit of a Doom vibe.
I mean, to me, it gives me a Doom vibe the way he did that execution.
Oh, I didn't.
Like Doom.
It's like melee stuff too in there?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
This definitely seems influenced, yo. I mean, even the color palette, man.
Very
it's
ready
like Doom,
and
yeah.
Cyber. Yeah,
that game looks cool. Like, yeah, they should sue him. Yeah.
I just want to see real quick how much that game costs.
Should cost $70. $60, I guess it was on the regular
I didn't even know Necromunda was like a category of games, because there's a Necromunda Underhive Wars that came out.
What is a Necromunda?
I think it's the world. It's a city, or it's a world. It's a world
prior
setting.
World of the Dead or something.
You would think so. It's just where they fuck the dead at. Necromunda
come on,
Hired Gun is currently $33.99 on Steam.
Okay. So you know what? Because they usually are cheaper.
Yeah, they are. It's probably because they pump them out so quickly. They're like, we're not going to get full price for this game. And we need people to be able to buy the next Warhammer game 2 weeks from now when it releases. Yeah. It definitely looks cool. I don't remember us ever talking about it, and I didn't recognize the name when people started talking about it. I was like, Necromunda.
I don't think we ever did. Because I would have known that name.
Definitely
seen it. Or if you said it, I must have just not been paying attention.
I feel like you would recognize me saying Necromunda. So, yeah. It's mostly positive reviews right now on Steam, so very cool. Anything else you got for the week, Dominic?
No. Oh, here it is. It says Necromunda was founded some 15,000 years ago as a mining and manufacturing colony. In the millennia since, mountains have been reduced to rubble for the ore they contain, and seas have been turned into oceans of chemical sludge. Ooh. Across the plains, huge city structures known as hives pierce the sky. In the lower levels of these cities, billions live, work, fight, and die without ever seeing the light of the city.
Oh my God.
It's a beautiful place. Sounds like a wonderful place.
Seems intense. You gotta start reading some Warhammer books, Dominic.
I did try to. Well, listen to them. Mm. I mean, it was good. Like the narrator sounded really good. Oh, okay. But I was doing it while I was trying to work at my old job, and it was just kind of hard to do it. I just never went back to it. And because because there's a lot of terminology that just, I get lost. Like, what the fuck is happening? And I gotta sit down and listen. Yeah.
Focus on it. Yeah, that's why I always had trouble listening to books on tape while doing anything else. Because it never went in and got processed. It just went in and went straight out.
Yeah. That's why the Dr. Seuss books were pretty good on tape to listen to. I think they're pretty good.
I'm sure. Considering how many Chandra Boyden books of course not. No.
Not the racist ones. Yeah. All right, so that's it?
Yep, that's it. Unless you got anything else, Dominic, sounds like next week will be relatively packed full of stuff. It'll be some of the initial Summer Game Fest stuff, and then the week of the 19th, that episode is going to be jam-packed with everything, Dominic. So, got a lot to look forward to. And so then, thank you guys as always for listening. You can check us out on Twitter. Dominic's at DStalworth5. I'm at RegulusMB. Podcast is at Superpod, SUPAPOD. Superpod.com is the website. You can check us out there. It has all the podcasts, as well as links to all the places you can find us, including YouTube, where there's a video version of this podcast, as well as iTunes, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and any of the other places you get your podcasts. Until next time, guys, see you later.
All right, see you.